I knew a chick back in Atlanta. She went on a date with this really handsome dude, right? Like Ryan Reynolds, Idris Elba kind of level. And the date was going really good, right? But she messed up. She rode with him, right? And at the end of the night, they pulled up in a Publix parking lot, and she was like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna fucking die. Like this ain't even close to my house." And he was like, "Look, I got to tell you something." And she was like, "Fuck, and he was like, "I am a furry, and I like to be walked and treated like an animal." And I tell you, this
that would
man,
be the end of that date.
It was, but she couldn't leave. She couldn't leave. This man came out with a leash and a collar, like the dog, like the one you cover so the dog don't bite people. And she was like, "Can you walk me? It turns me on." And she was like, mind you, this was her manager too.
Oh my gosh, she was her manager?
Yeah, this was her manager. Yeah, that shit is wild, bro. This shit wild. There's a lot of weird shit in Atlanta.
I would never be able to take like they're my manager. If they're telling me to do something, I would be like,
I
no.
I get time for
stuff. But welcome to Manly Girly. Very excited today about the panel. You have some, faces you've seen before, some newer faces. Let's start going around this side. Give me your name, age, dating status, and what you do for a living. And we'll start with you.
I'm Analise. I'm 19. I'm single currently, and I'm currently a full-time college student.
Already? What?
Well,
Wait, was a red flag, but she's single?
Very nice to meet you. That's the closest button that I can hit.
I told you I wouldn't be able to contain myself.
Nice to meet you. And what are you studying?
I'm currently a double major in biology and chemistry.
Oh,
I'm doing,
shit.
She's smart.
That's pretty cool. I originally used to be a double major in geology and chemistry myself. But then I ran out of financial aid after I spent too many credits, so.
It's good to hear you're not wasting your time or with a waste of time major.
Yeah, I'm doing pre-vet
like psychology or
too.
something like that.
Yeah, I thought she was going to say psychology or social studies too, and I was
no.
Man.
African American studies.
Awesome. Well, pleasure to meet you. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yes, for me, I'm Victoria. Victoria said it on IG. I am complicated. I'm not. I don't
Stop the cap.
Listen, I don't like people, so I'm single. But then
Stop the cap.
I am. I don't tolerate people well, so it takes very little for me to be like, I'm in a relationship.
Are you recently single? Would you have said that you were not single recently?
Yeah, like for the most part. I mean, my tolerance is low, so you can like wipe your nose the wrong way, and I'm like, oh, fuck it, I'm single now. So it's very little for that to happen, but yeah, that's me.
Bringing the heat. I love it. Thank you for coming back on the pod.
Of course.
And then we have another new face.
What's up? My name is Giuseppe. I am a comedian, 30 years old, and to be honest, I'm single. I'm just kind of floating here. That's it. I am that single Pringle, but I am the last Pringle at the bottom, so it's like impossible to get to. So.
No. Well, thank you very much for joining us. Maybe somebody will see you on the show, and you'll have a lady or a gentleman, whatever you prefer into your life. I don't know. I don't know you too well, so we're all welcome in here at the Manly Girly podcast. It's in the name. And returning, fan favorite, famous or infamous, Wafeeq. Welcome, Wafeeq.
Welcome. It's good to be here, man. Good to be here. A lot of new people, a couple new people here.
Yeah, and we have all kinds of new people coming up this week. Thank you, Analise. We hope that you, we don't scare you away. You'll come back. We also have new people next week, so tune into the podcast. It will be fun. Let's start with a little icebreaker. You're mentioning, Analise, right, that when you were younger, you ran to your dad's phone and you kind of saw his Rizz style, of what he does.
Oh, yeah. I was, he was letting me use his iPad, which is iPads connect to your phones now. Like they have all the same apps and all of that stuff. Mm-hmm. And he was just letting me use it to watch movies. And I was 13 years old and I saw his Tinder profile. So me and my sister thought it would be really, really fun to go through it and try to figure out which women were good for him and which were not. And we were looking through all his messages, and it was so funny at the time. Like, I just couldn't believe it because I did not know he was on Tinder.
Yeah, you're like, I do not approve of this woman. And you said it was very sweet, right?
Yeah, he was so sweet on there. Like, I was like scared that I was gonna find like some like dirty messages or something that I did not want to see.
Nasty
But
pictures.
he was just so like sweet. He was like, not to be too forward, but like, I love your eyes. Let me take you out sometime. Like, he was so sweet. And there were so many messages. So he was definitely like reusing the same stuff, but at least it wasn't nasty.
Little copy and paste.
I love it. Well, the reason why I ask is I want to see if his profile was anything like this video that I'm about to show you. Give me 1 second here. Hold on.
Let me be the breeze in your sunny day. Let me be the sky for your clouds.
And what do you do if you get this message,
bird for your nouns. Let me be the shore for your crashing waves.
after you match with somebody?
The bricks in your wall. Let me be the soil where your garden grows. Let me be the one. Let me be the one. Let me be the one you truly love.
Like how he's caressing the ground.
He wants to be the soul where she plants the grass. I don't know what that means.
Serenity. I will be the bridge for you to cross.
And Annalise like, actually, that's my dad. You know?
I know him. Like,
This is
See, I
something.
told you, my dad is so sweet.
This is something my dad would definitely do. I don't know. He likes to make weird edits like on TikTok and stuff. So this is something like I could
Nice
definitely see him do.
I'm just looking at like what in the Republican is going on right now.
Yeah, so we'll start. Like, let's say he's not this old, right? But let's say he's, whatever you find age appropriate, and you get a video like this after you match with somebody. What do you do?
Oh God. I don't know. When I use dating apps, my age restriction is definitely set to like only like 22 because I am 19. I do not
find
go
your
for
father.
yeah.
No, but let's say it's a 22-year-old, and just
Oh,
in the style of this video.
It depends if he's hot.
Okay.
Because if he's attractive, I might find it sweet, but if he's ugly, I might find it creepy. So.
It works if you're
There's
hot.
a
If
difference.
you're ugly, it's creepy.
That's right. That is the catch-22, gentlemen. So you better know where you're fucking fit yourself.
Where you sit in line. Like,
Yeah, exactly. I was sitting here the other day, 100%. I thank you for mentioning that because, and we'll keep going around here in this moment. But I feel like the other day, I recently went through a breakup. So I'm like single after 2.5 years, and I was sitting here with other podcasters, and I'm like, yeah, right now, like, you got to know where you're at. I'm like, if I was honest with myself, I gained over 35 pounds, right? Like in the last 2.5 years, I could lose them, right? Like there's a lot of things I could do it. So right now I'm probably about a 5. I have potential to get to like a 7 and above, but I'm not it right now. And that's not, I have a lot of confidence. I love myself. Trust me. Like if I was pursuing somebody, like this is not self-beating up, but it touches on the point that you have to know where you stand as a guy in order to kind of like, no, or am I totally off Wafeeq? What do you think?
No, that's true. You do need to know where you stand. You need a self-assessment. You need to know your baseline. Once you determine that, then go out and try to get anybody you want. Doesn't matter what she looks like. It doesn't matter what league you think she's in. There is no such thing as a league. But it is important to understand what you're working with because you have to accentuate the positive and then try to mask the negative. But then after that, go out and have fun.
Perfect. And Giuseppe, how do you feel about this as a dude?
I mean, I agree. I think like, you have to look at yourself in the mirror, or you need to call your mom and get an honest opinion about where you stand. Like, Mom, I know you say I'm handsome, but am I like mom handsome or am I handsome? And
You think your mom's going to tell you the truth?
Yeah, that's what I was
my
wondering.
mom
You're
is
gonna
very
be
blunt. My
mom
mother is
handsome.
Sicilian. My mother is Sicilian Bronx. Like she
Oh, yeah,
will
she's
tell
gonna-
me I'm ugly. She has told me I'm ugly on a
You're
regular
a fugly
basis.
kid. Look.
Yeah, she told me when I was little, it's like, oh, you're just going through an ugly duckling stage. I'm like, Mom, I'm 29. Like, when do I get out of it? She's like, one day.
If I wanted like the blunt truth about how I looked, I would just ask one of my sisters. They will tell me. Like there was one time where me and my sister, we worked together, and these people were trying to like see if we looked alike. And Geneva, which is my sister's name, she was like, yeah, we both have big ass noses. And I was like, you didn't need to call me out like that.
Wait, you when it become we.
It's us.
That's dope. So yeah, thank you for that. And feel free to chime in. But also, what do you do if you get a video like this?
That video, I'm blocking. I'm deleting. I'm gonna change my whole account name. It won't. That's creepy. Like I'm like. It's far from sweet. I mean, now, okay, I'm going to say this now because you did hit on the nail. Like, if it was like Idris Elba, I'm like, Idris, this is so cute. But it has to be somebody that I'm like,
I can look past this.
I can look past this, but we ain't doing none of this silly shit no more. But it was like,
it's a one time only.
Yeah, like that's a sugar daddy. He can have my bank account number and then just
not
put
handsome. He's creepy. If he's handsome, like, wow, you a videographer? That's so nice.
If they're a
He's
good
so
singer,
talented.
it would be even better. Like, what if they were actually a talented like musician and they just like did that? Then I would probably.
But he looked like he probably got like a cage in the basement.
Well, him no, but I like if it was like someone else.
Yeah, this could have been like Little Dicky, you know, and you would have just like swiped.
I'm like, all right, come on now. Yeah, now, but I can accept that from Lil Dicky because that's a Lil Dicky move.
Yeah, fair enough. So that guy would have been at best friend zoned.
Beyond blocked.
Okay, fair enough. Well, thank you, panel. This is a good start.
I think he's actually going to get a lot of women from that in his age group.
For sure.
Wafeeq
Yeah,
gonna
in
do this
his
next
age
week.
group, yeah.
Wafeeq, if I look up and you do that same,
Nah, that's not my style.
like y'all want to check out my new reel.
Wafeeq's gonna do a 2000s R&B. He's gonna find where it rains one day.
Yeah.
No, it's a little cheesy for me, but I think for his age group is winning. I can see a lot of women like I'm gonna name somebody, Jennifer. You know Jennifer who comes on the show, the comic. She was here a couple weeks ago.
We know
I can see
her.
her liking something like that.
I would hope not. I would hope she would phone a friend first before she.
Shots fired, Jennifer. You know?
I'm telling you, they probably think it's cute. It's cute and they appreciate it. The 50
I think it
and
goes
older
back
crew.
to, is he attractive to this person?
He
if he's
spanked the
attractive,
ground.
Yeah, he was kind of weirdly groping the ground.
He wants to be the verb in
His
your
hand
to your
in the
noun.
Bobby
That's
Brown.
all. You got to show action.
Like
Yeah,
looks-
he was really tuning into like, I'm in a music video. I'm gonna give them my all.
But you know what? If he's willing to commit that much to an edit,
Imagine how much he's willing to commit to you.
Yeah, you know he's gonna like basically eat that pussy like for hours if you need him to. You know?
compliments you.
Like all the
Words of
compliments. That.
Look, whoa, this
Listen,
is
that's
so
he's like
delectable.
he's like, this is how much effort I put into this video without getting the pussy. You know, imagine what I
Imagine
do.
he gets cockblocked. He's like, damn, I made this video for nothing.
yeah. Imagine if it was
Blow up
person.
her shit. Like,
He's like, I only gotta make it once, and then I just send it to everybody I match with.
but he just
you know?
ain't like the one that you don't want to be like, hey, it was really fun, but it's just not gonna work out. Like, bitch, fuck you. Like, this is
But you know, I'll say this: corny works though. Like cheesy corny does work.
that's
if
why
they
you
find you
still single.
attractive.
Nah, it works. It works. I don't know about that age bracket, but it works when you're young.
I don't know. That seems like he seems like the type of guy that like, let's say you did block his number, he would
he
probably
would
just
figure
use
out.
his friend's phone.
Yeah, no.
And like he'd be like, why'd you block my number? I can't get a hold of you anymore.
That's when you
I
don't
just
let
wanted
him
to
know
make
where you
sure
live.
you was safe.
Yeah, don't let him know where you live. That's when you meet up. Like, nah, don't pick me up for the day. I will see you at the bagel spot. like I'll meet you. Look, I don't even get my order first. Like, I'm not trusting his drinks. Nothing.
I love it. Well, let me show you all a different video for different person. I just found this dude on the internet, and let me see what you think. It's a little different flavor.
Escape the friend zone. She likes you, but she can have you while still playing the field, and that's the big problem. You've got to move on from her, go on a few dates with other girls, upload pictures with them, forget about her. But be polite, she texts, but no questions at the end. Barely any text to her, stop liking her pics, bang, you're the mystery man, the main bloke. Then after about 4 or 5 weeks of being the mystery man, out of the blue, shoot over, wanna grab some scrap. If she says yes, you're in. If she says no, you never lost anything. No more simping, only W's from now on. Use your brain, roll on the weekend, sort.
Who hurt him?
He's hurt. He's definitely.
Yeah.
Let's start with Wafeeq over here. What do you think, Wafeeq?
I think his underlining point is correct. I don't think I would play it for 4 to 5 weeks.
Yeah, that seems like a bit.
That's
Yeah.
obsessive.
Much.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think he's correct with his base idea, which is move on from the person that doesn't want you. Why are you chasing somebody who doesn't want to be with you? Let that person go. You know, the best way to not be in the friend zone is to not be her friend. That's
That's
pretty
valid.
simple fix for that.
Yeah, but he also looks like the type that like him and Dama would be best friends. That he just gives that off. And then my thing is, you can't be an asshole like that. Like he thinks the jerk mentality is gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get her attention or whatever. Like he looks like he has a small penis. I'm sorry.
I think it could work if it's authentic. If that's really who he is, it shouldn't be an act. It should be just be yourself and move on with your life.
That's it.
I don't know.
Stop,
That's a hard sell. Like if that's your first impression of him, that's a hard one.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like if you're not showing any effort at all, like he's like suggesting like not really showing any effort, maybe like one text a day, I'm not gonna go for you. Like if you just randomly text me after 4 to 5 weeks of like really dry like texting, I'm not gonna go out with you. I'm not gonna do it because like I want someone who's at least somewhat interested in me. Like I need a little bit of interest. You don't need to be obsessed with me. You don't need to text me like 5 million times a day. But yeah, like you don't need good morning. How are you? Did you eat
Bible
today?
verse in the morning.
Yeah, like I don't need that. But if you're really dry for 4 to 5 weeks and just randomly ask me out, no, I don't
forgot
know
about
you.
you.
Yeah, I forgot about you. I probably moved on to someone else.
Yeah, like that. I'm not for that one. Like you said, like I need interest, but I don't need to feel like I'm being chased, and I don't want to chase. If that makes sense. Like I don't want to feel like, oh my god, this motherfucker text me again. Like fuck. But I don't want to feel like every time I get on damn like Instagram, I see you on live, and like I don't want that. But then I also don't want you to act like I don't mean shit either. So it's like I gotta mean a little something. And like you said, I don't want good morning, good afternoon, how's your breakfast? Do you want like I don't need this. No, especially if you're not my husband. Like when we get married, then give me some cute shit, but not all the time because I'm not gonna give you sex all the time either. So give me cute shit when you feel like it.
This is a man who's just in a friendship with her, right?
Well, he's trying to get out of the friend zone, but I don't feel like he's even in the friend zone. He looks like he's not a friend. I wouldn't have him as a friend.
Well, I think I don't think he's talking about him. He's talking about
Two other guys.
But, but I mean, if they look like him or act like him, or if they listen to him, they probably have the same mentality, small penises. So I'm not going to entertain that. Like 9 times out of 10, my friend zone is because those people are cool. Like that's it.
I thought you said that earlier that they can do anything, sneeze the wrong way, and then they're in the friend zone again.
Like they can be blocked. Like,
Okay.
I'm not even gonna put you in the friend zone. That's my peace, my sanctuary.
Well, his underlying message is stop chasing somebody who doesn't want to be with you in that capacity. So just be there. If you don't want to be in the friend zone, you don't have to have that person as a friend.
Well,
I mean, like for sure, like he dropped nuggets in the video. Like you could look through it and be like, okay, that makes like that's one take. But like the whole like, yeah, you know what? Stop liking her stuff. Unlike her stuff. Now don't talk to her for 4 to 5 weeks.
Take pictures with girls. Look
And
like
then
this.
you know what? Then hit her up and be like, hey, I ain't your friend, but we should hit it.
I think the video should have ended at don't text her if she's not into you. If
And
she's
right there.
obviously not into you, go find someone else. Like don't 4 to 5 weeks is a bit obsessive. Like
Your
if you're
gameplay.
really trying to get this one girl, like if a girl is not interested in you, just go find someone else.
Yeah, it's just too much gameplay. It's too much. Like, why are we doing all this?
So his underlying message is correct.
You
but
go
his-
underline it one more time.
Well, that's correct, right? You just said it. His underlying message, just to recap, his underlying message is correct, but his techniques,
He
his
ruined
tactics
his
are
message
wrong.
though.
Well, that's what
by
I just
putting
said.
too
His-
much in
his,
it.
His tactics are wrong.
He's gonna say underline it one more time.
His message that underlines the core of what he's saying is correct, but his tactics are wrong. We don't need to be so sneaky and do all this this devious stuff. Just
Gameplay.
move on.
Yeah, what I just said.
I know, but you didn't say underlying message.
Because I
so
didn't
that's
say
why.
it like Wafeeq. I
Yes.
got you. Okay.
Yes, you got to
All
say
right.
underlying message to get the point across.
Yeah, you just gotta look at the underlining tone. Of
You know what?
So you think that his approach does not work, ladies? Do you think it's working on any ladies, or is
No.
No, unless they're very desperate, that is probably
That's
not
it,
going
yeah.
to work because
would it change things if he was like loaded and was like treating girls all around?
maybe for a certain type of
Yeah.
girl. Like for me personally, it wouldn't change anything.
Yeah.
Because like I don't care if you're gonna like not be interested in me. I don't care if you're rich or not. Like I'm not gonna be interested in you if you're not showing me any back.
Exactly. Yep. I agree.
Perfect. We'll dive into it more. I have another video by him in a minute, but I want to ask you between that guy and this guy. Now you're gonna have to choose one of them, and gentlemen, you're gonna tell me which one do you think would fare better. Okay.
Thank you extremely kindly for the match. I greatly enjoyed perusing your profile, and I hope you did likewise. As you can see, I'm the one on the right in my picture at the march, the one holding the sign saying, "Girls just want to have fun, demental rights." So, thought I would leave you a little voice note, bit unorthodox, but I am on a post-climb
Feel like you wish you had
endorphin
Alaska.
high. So, here goes. Yeah, just thought this would be a little palate cleanser for you, little sorbet, because, you know, I know on this app you probably see a lot of red flags. I saw that your favorite TV show is Fleabag, which has some wickedly funny moments, but I would say on the whole, it lacks queer representation. But very much enjoyed seeing you're into your techno, and that you've been to Berlin. I enjoyed Berlin for sure, but I would say in many ways Tbilisi and the scene in Tbilisi has more innovation. So I would check that out. Have you heard of an artist called Fortet? No, I don't have any change. But do fling your Digitos my way. Would be amazing to... Steady, sir. Anyway, I would love to grab a bite to eat, sip to drink. Maybe some seitan, because I'm doing February the But yeah, I can do any day apart from Wednesday next week, because I'm volunteering with an organization that does extraordinary work with dementia, which really keeps me rooted, keeps me grounded, particularly when the pod and the zine are gaining a huge amount of traction. Sorry, I'm rambling like some sort of...
Yo, that's a 7-minute video.
First of all, somebody get the Metahuman. Like,
Immediately match on Hinge, and I'm gonna send this video 7 minutes.
that is.
Well, let's start over here. What did you think of the video? And if you had to choose one over the other, which one are you choosing?
Okay, the thing is, I really don't think he was being serious in that video. It really felt like he was being like funny, or he was trying to be like weird on purpose. At least that's the vibe that I got. So I would probably choose him, because if he was not being serious, I thought it was funny. Like if he wasn't being serious, it was funny. But if he was being serious, then I'd probably choose the other guy, because at least he's not bullshitting.
Wait, the first guy or the guy who is talking about the
That dude,
second guy.
that
He
dude
was
was
upset.
real. That second dude was real as a motherfucker.
Yeah, that second dude was real.
That was...
I'm not sure. Can I pass on both? Like,
Oh
Tell
yeah,
me what you-
preferably I wouldn't want either. But like in the worst case scenario, I'd probably choose the second guy, just because I think it would be funny to hear him talk.
they both give Cage in the basement energy, and I just don't like
in a different way, though, right?
They do. It's like, ew, like I feel like I'm gonna have to have like my location on with all my family. Like I'm gonna have my sister call me every 30 minutes. Like I don't feel safe. Like I feel like if I have a drink from either one of them, I'm gonna start feeling woozy, and then I'm gonna wake up in some space that
Not
I'm.
the Cosby.
I'm like, how did I get here? Where are my clothes? Like,
Hey, watch out! You know, like watch out with the Cosby. That's some people's childhood hero here.
that is.
He was
Yeah.
my daddy growing up, man. Not anymore, though.
He's a daddy.
Yeah, he is a daddy.
So, ladies, now, like, assuming which one do you think you say that the second guy is maybe just playing around? Assuming they're both serious.
If they're both serious, then I would probably choose the first guy, because the second guy, that was just like
I agree.
genuinely like weird. If he was being serious,
So I think that I will continue to hear in a moment lessons like if you're gonna be a creep, be a creep with confidence. Yeah.
Do it well. Do it well.
Do it well.
That is definitely confident, creepy. Like that should be on a shirt. I need to see their height. That would matter for me. Then I'm like if the first guy is like maybe like 5'5", like he can go. I would take the second guy.
What if he's 5'8"? It's easy to say 5'5", but no, let's go with like something closer to the average.
Okay, so like one of them is 5'8" and the other one's like
the last guy, he's 6'1", and the first guy is 5'8".
6'1". I have to go with 6'1". He just can't look at me. Like he can't know my real number. I'm gonna give him the Google number.
So the second guy then.
The second guy can get my Google number. Okay.
Thank you, gentlemen. And let's start with Giuseppe. Who do you think would do better?
I think the first dude would do better. Like if I had my sister's like, hey, I got a date with one of these two, I would tell her to go with the first one because I think my sister could take on the first one or at least control the situation. Because anyone that makes a video that angry about not being in the friend zone can easily be manipulated.
He seems angry to you? He didn't come off angry to me, but
he sounded very strong about like what to do. But I feel like my sister could take it. That second dude gives me Hannibal Lecter vibes, especially when he started rolling his eyes. And he also walked a little bit faster when those cops were coming. Just saying.
He just dropped off a body.
Just saying.
Wafeeq, what do you think?
I think the second guy is my favorite just because he's so funny.
Your hero.
Yeah, I thought he
You
was
gotta look
funny.
at the underlying tone of
That's what I'm saying. I thought he was hilarious. Like it would just be funny to hear him talk, especially like he was walking on the street and he was like talking to people as he was making his video.
Steady.
I wouldn't want my sister to be with any of these guys, but if I had to choose, I would go with the last dude because he seems less harmful to me than the guy who was like, let me tell you how to get out of the friend zone. You gotta do these ridiculous
No, but you
tactics.
didn't hear his underlining message.
Yeah, you agree with the
all you
underlying
heard was that he helps
Yes.
dementia people.
Yeah.
That's all you heard. You're like, wow, he gives charity? He helps people?
We all agree with the message.
That's
but
why he walked away. He got out of the ward.
These crazy tactics is just ridiculously unnecessary. And that's what turns me off about him. And it does seem more malicious too. But the last guy seemed genuinely like that. I know he seems like he could be acting, but it's still kind of funny to me.
But what if his underlying message was?
That's when I feel like I'm with Giuseppe. We can control him more.
Why do you think is it Giuseppe or Giuseppe?
With Giuseppe. Sorry about that.
It's
Giuseppe.
okay.
You said
his name wrong.
It's all types of different.
Yeah, well, like Mario was saying, man, this last guy was just genuinely funny, and we can control him. I know my sister could probably take this guy, so I feel better with him.
I like that in 5 seconds you pretty much just prove one of Giuseppe's bits on stage.
Yeah, it's
like
true.
Giuseppe. Yeah.
Yeah, so Giuseppe, what's your opinion on this guy, right?
No, it's just payback for every time people have butchered, Wafeeq's name.
Right.
He's like, finally, yes, I got someone.
Yeah. Because has it ever happened to you? Like, because it's happened to me when I'm booking to you that people flip. They're like, it's like Wafeeq, like they flip the Wafeeq Sarif and then they'll put the Sarif Wafeeq or something. Has that ever happened to you?
No, they say it correctly in the right order. They just say it wrong, like Wafeeq Zarif. Yeah, guy and woman.
Cool. Let's keep it rolling. Let's see if this changes any of y'all's minds.
Melfs. What is that? Mielfs.
Looks like Botox.
Botox, lip fillers, little brow lift.
All of it. Like, you take off that wig, it's a whole nother person.
Okay, hold on. I'll get that one in a moment. I'll get that one loaded in a moment, but I'll show it to you in a moment. I fucked up. I recorded it without sound.
I want to know what a MILF is.
Oh, I'm about to show you.
What do you
but
think the acronym stands for?
Let's start with you, Wafeeq, this time. Question for you. Do you believe in love? Have you ever been in love? And how would you describe love?
Absolutely, I believe in love. Love is definitely it's a real component of humanity. It's something that we need. It's something that makes us feel. It makes us go above and beyond the normal call of duty. Love is what actually keeps you dealing with somebody who might not be the most attractive, or it causes you to protect them in a way that you really wouldn't protect somebody else because you love them and you built something with them, man. It's the invisible thing that attaches us to other people when we really don't need to be attached to that person because we're in love with them, and that's good. Have I ever been in love? No, I've never been in love at all. What was the last question?
How would you describe love, or how do you think love would be when you are in love?
I think love is the willingness to put someone before you for the sake of making it work. The willingness to put somebody before you. It could be a man who decides, you know what, I'm tired, but I'm going to go to work anyway because I love this woman. I need to provide for her. It could be a woman who says, I'm tired, but you know what, I'm going to get up and I'm going to go, I don't know, I'm going to do something around the house, like take care of a bunch of domestic duties, even though I just finished working, because I know he's on the way home and I feel like he would appreciate something like that. Love would be being with somebody and not buying them a Valentine's Day gift. And even though you didn't do that, they know that you still care. They don't require something like that. They don't even need it anymore. Love is looking past people's flaws, you know? It's the thing that keeps you in the game, even though it's hard to be in the game.
Perfect.
Okay.
Awesome.
With
awesome.
the word.
Thank you, Wafeeq. Giuseppe, have you ever been in love? Do you believe in love? And how would you describe love?
Yeah, I believe I have been in love before. I used to be, a couple years ago, I was engaged to a woman that I really loved. And I know, shocker. But, you know, it was long distance, and being in the Army too, it was hard for both of us. But like, I remember it's exactly what he was saying about like what he believes love means. Because I remember like she was 7 hours away, and I would drive like weekends on a regular basis to be with her because I wanted the relationship to feel no long distance.
Yeah.
And I remember she would be sick, and I would get her like DoorDash medicine. I would do all these little things to make her feel like she's not alone in this relationship. But
why did it end, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, it was long distance, man.
Yeah, you cheat on her?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, just checking.
Long
Stop
distance. Long distance in that Army, man, and like long distance really pays. It really plays a lot in the mental. So like, it just eventually started getting toxic on both ends, you know. And it was hard. It was hard for it, but you know, we've moved on since then.
Okay, well, thank you, man. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. Victoria, do you believe in love? Have you been in love, and how would you describe it?
I do believe in love. I think there is something.
As long as they're above 6 foot tall, of course. Right?
At least. No, I do believe in it. It took me a minute to gather what it really meant. Mm-hmm. But for like my second child's father, I think I gotta love him. I haven't sent him to jail yet, even though we're not together. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could have easily been like, you can go to jail. But I haven't, for the sake of, like, I see the love that he has for his daughter and his daughter has for him. Mm-hmm. So, like, even from the idea of, like, having kids and what you would do for them, it does make sense. I know that myself, like, I have just enough. Like, it's either going to be my kids or a man. But because I haven't had that balance yet. I don't like taking myself out of that. I'm addicted to being a mom. I love it. But when it comes to relationships, I feel like I said, my ex, he is somebody that I don't like learning new people. And I know his flaws. I know what he's capable of. I know what he's done. But this is such a lot, because it's just like, when you said that, I was like, damn, like I instantly thought about him. So it's like, that's somebody that we have been through some rocky shit, and if I had to say I would go back, we would try. Long distance actually doesn't bother me, though. I would prefer that, because I'm like, thank God I don't have to entertain you every day. But for me, when I defining love, I feel like love is embracing every part of that, or every part of that person, good, bad, whatever. Taking in the fact that, like, not everybody's gonna be the cook, clean type of girl. Like, I'm not all the way. If I don't feel like doing something, I don't feel like doing something. So you have to embrace like, okay, today is my off day, or today is, hey, matter of fact, we're going to clean the house together, everybody, or we're going to, you know, maybe I don't feel like cooking, so we're going to go get something to eat. But it's like, I've been around couples who have been together since they were 17 years old and have 5 kids together. And every day is brand new to them. So it's like, and they've been married for 17, they've been married for 20 years now. Yeah, 30 years, going on 30. It's going on 30. It's in the 30s. And they love every stinking part of each other. And I'm just like, the only thing is his wife, which is my cousin who I'm talking about, the relationship I'm talking about, she does not fart around him. She has not farted around him since she was about 19. And that was because he does not let it go. Like, so one day they fell asleep, and he said he fell asleep and laid on her butt, and she farted. And so from that point on, she was like, I'll see her, like I said, they've been married forever, and you'll see her run off and go to like her room or something. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, drrr. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, why'd you come up here, dude? Like, we're all family. And she's like, if I do it around him, he's going to bring up that story from one time. And I'm like, oh shit. But they love each other's guts. Like, it's hilarious though. So, you know, if I got to define it, it would be that couple specifically though. I love their love.
Well, thank you for sharing. You know, shout out to that couple.
Yes.
So she has designated fart times of the day where she just goes and runs off and lets off a few.
He's military. He's an Air Force guy. Well, he just retired, actually. And she would do all her farts while he was gone.
Now he's here all the time.
But now, like now he's retired, she's like, all right, let me go to the bathroom, and that's where she lets it go. Like,
yeah, you know, like, she lets off her farts in the bathroom, and he's jerking it in the bathroom.
Yeah,
you know?
so
like,
that's
so
their safe
out,
space.
You know?
Yeah, like
yeah. Thank you, Analise. Do you believe in love? Have you ever been in love? And if how would you describe love?
I do believe in love, like, because I don't think I've ever really been in love. I like in the moment when I'm with someone, I may think that I'm in love, but I look back and I realize that I wasn't like truly in love with the person.
Happen. Yeah.
And I'm still young. Most of my relationships have not been very long, and they haven't been very serious because like I'm young. I'm 19.
Yeah, you got time.
So it's still on the surface of.
Yeah, so I don't think I've ever like truly been in love. I know like I love people like platonically. Like I love my parents, I love my friends, I love my siblings, I love them so much, and I know that like I feel love for them, but I've never really felt like full romantic love for someone. I've like felt very strong feelings towards people for sure. I've definitely like really wanted to be with someone. I've done a lot of things for someone I've wanted to be with, but I don't think I've fully like got to the point where like I could confidently say I was in love with them.
Yeah.
Can you talk to my daughter? Y'all about the same age. Like, let her know that he's temporary. Like, this shit is not gonna be forever.
I know, and that's what I tell myself when like I've had like relationships that have like ended a little bit badly, and like for a moment it feels like that feeling's never gonna end, like that heartbroken feeling. But then I remember I'm like, it always goes away, because like I've been through like, because I feel like when I was younger I used to like catch feelings for like a person so easily, and now I don't, but I used to. And so I used to get so heartbroken over these like stupid boys, like these 16, 17-year-old boys who really did not mean anything. And now like if I do get like not heartbroken, but like if a guy like hurts my feelings, or that he doesn't want me, or like I really really like him but he doesn't feel the same way, I just like remember, I'm like, oh, like I'm not always gonna feel upset about this, I'm gonna get over it eventually. Yes. And
let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like this? Have you ever missed someone when they weren't there?
I've definitely like missed some of like my past relationships. I remember last year, it wasn't really like, we weren't like dating, but we were serious. Like we were only seeing each other. And to this day, I still miss him sometimes, but I don't think we got to the point where like I was in love with him, but I do miss him. And like there are some relationships that I've had that I do miss the feeling that they gave me. Like I've had like not a lot of relationships. Like I said, I'm young. I haven't had a lot. And so I don't really, there's only like a few that I really think of, like 2 probably, that I actually like miss the feeling that they gave me.
Well, I mean, when you two were together and they left, right? Maybe they had to go on a trip. Did you miss their presence?
Yes. I remember last year, the guy that I was just talking about, around the time we started seeing each other was the time that I moved into college. So he was still back in Charlotte and I was up at Western Carolina. And I remember I would be there and I would miss him so much, like when I was away from him. And, I used to go home all the time just to like go see him.
That's the first degree. Have you ever been with someone who made you better and you felt the need to make them a better person?
I don't think so. I don't think we ever really got to that stage because it was such a short thing. It was only like a month long, and like I missed him and I wanted to be around him a lot, but like we just decided that it wasn't best for us, like, especially since like he was a little bit older. I was 18, he was 20, and I was, getting into my freshman year of college. A lot of things were changing for me, moving out of my parents' house. Just like so much was going on all at once.
The boys.
Yeah, it looks like you're giving Victoria a flashback. She's like dissociating into
As soon as you got on college campus, she's like, oh, and you want to be a doctor? Oh, yes. Like, it changes.
Yeah. And the reason I ask you is because you said you've never really been in love. These are some things to look for. Number one, when the person is not with you, do you miss their presence? That's just the first degree. And you said you felt that. Number two, though, I said, have you been with someone who every day you felt like you needed to make them better, help them be the best version of themselves, and they reciprocated by trying to help you be the best version of yourself? That's the second degree. But you said you never felt that, which is an indicator that, you haven't been in love. Here's the third degree. Do you find yourself making decisions for that person? I'm not going to go put myself in this group of people. I'm not going to this party. I'm not going over here. I'm not going there. I'm not doing this because it could negatively impact this person, whether he's a man or a woman or whatever. It could negatively impact that. You find yourself making decisions for two long term rather than just yourself. That's the fourth. And the fifth degree is, do you feel like all of this after you masturbate? That's the key. You got to rub one out. Yes, and you rub one out changes your whole perspective. If you still feel like the first four right after you blow one off, there's probably the person for you. But run that test last after everything else.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Don't take every relationship with you to the next one. So it's like if I sit there and say every guy is a punk ass bitch up until he shows me
Everybody's
otherwise.
gonna be a punk ass bitch
Yeah,
no matter what.
you're gonna treat him like it up until
Yeah.
like, all right, what you want? Fuck you, yeah, all right. Like that's how you're gonna talk, and then you're like, oh fuck, I don't want to deal with you, you aggressive ass bitch. Like then it turns into I've made every guy this same person, and every girl gets treated like that. I know for a fact I get treated like that. Like, don't bring your last relationship. I ain't like him. I ain't like the last one. But if I say the same thing you just said, oh, I'm treating you just like the last one until you prove otherwise, then I look crazy.
No. Do they turn out to be like the last one?
No, they just turn out to be not what I wanted.
They sneeze the wrong way.
And they're
I would be okay with that depending on your situation. I would be fine with my 19-year-old daughter. If I had a 19-year-old daughter doing that, my 16-year-old daughter, because I'm not trusting these dudes out there. But with you as an adult, you don't need that tactic. Everything that you just described is unrealistic.
But if I had that tactic, I probably wouldn't have my children.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Like-
You have no need for that tactic. That's why I said it was unrealistic.
But even you're talking about even me, like I said, I had my oldest daughter. My oldest daughter is 19, so I had her at 17 years old. So you're saying treat every dude like, you ain't shit. And then I'm just sitting here like, well.
No, that's not what I said. I didn't say you. I said this is an extreme tactic for extreme dire situations.
It's like SWAT. It's like SWAT. You don't need it every time, you know?
I just think that I think you should be inviting towards everyone, but don't let them walk all over you.
That part.
That's how I think.
And she's 19. She's speaking.
I think
you got
you
a great head on your shoulders.
I think you should look at
Write a
everybody
book.
with
Like,
respect to like a degree. Like look from like maybe be a little guarded about it, but just recognize what's going on.
Yeah.
And as soon as you start seeing like, oh, this is stuff I don't like. She's being disrespectful. She's
Once
not
those
appreciating
flags
my
come
time.
up, yeah.
That's when I'm gonna start walking back. Because I grew up with a dad. My dad was the type of person to be like, yo, every woman's a bitch. Every woman's a bitch.
Perfect.
But he was also hurt a lot. You know, but he also only dated strippers and shit. So,
How was his relationship with his mom?
oh, non-existent.
There we go.
My grandmother was a
why.
prostitute. So,
See,
yeah.
You talk about daddy issues. There's mommy issues. Let's
Yeah,
remember that.
and that for what you just said, Giuseppe, would have been great for this guy a year ago.
Yeah, but I mean,
he's
at the end of the
past
day,
that point
at the
now.
end of the day, I think we're really missing the beginning of that video because we're all looking at it based off what we just saw versus
And the underlining
understanding
message.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
the underline.
Yeah,
we are
like I bet-
missing the underlining message.
Yeah, you gotta look at the underlining message, Wafeeq.
100%. And to Wafeeq's point, the conversation's a lot more nuanced, but that's just a clip, But you were being too reasonable, so I had to like insert a little like chaos in there, Wafeeq.
I was
Now we
being too
understand the
reasonable.
underlining
Yeah,
message.
you were giving too sage advice. It's a comedy podcast.
You want me to say something crazy?
No, I
bitch.
You're not being funny enough, so let's spice it up.
He set me up with a clip. Okay, you just have them in your back pocket. Anytime Wafeeq
It's
is
on a
being
button.
too
Wow.
sane,
Yeah.
let me play some crazy.
I had to find that one on the fly. So
Hey,
it
but
was,
if you all knew what this guy was going through,
yeah,
and the crazy thing
You
is,
should have watched that video of that one man telling him how to get out of the friend
three
zone.
of you,
Friend zone.
three of you know this guy. I'm not gonna.
he was
put his
he was
business
supposed
out
to be
there.
on, but he couldn't make it today. But from the pre-show notes, he says it's in a relationship, so maybe things have changed.
Because man, what he told us that day, I got so angry because I was like,
I need names
I went
dropped
back
later.
to where I was. I was like, this was me in 8th grade. The same thing happened.
grade.
I knew
I
that
can't
bitch.
let you go out like this.
Yeah,
Eighth
you're like-
grade, women have been bitches.
That
Eighth grade.
bitch Keisha ain't let me walk her to class. Fuck her.
He's like, I couldn't pull out the burner on her yet. You
And
know?
then let me
Malik.
hold her hands in the halls.
Okay.
It's crazy.
I seen her walk out during
I
a
saw her
lunch.
talk to that football player.
Okay. Gave
Well,
him her fries.
Speaking of approach, let me see. I think I have it queued up now. Let's hope the sound's working.
I love MILFs. Tell her she's a great mum. Tell her she's still fun. Tell her she doesn't look a day over 28. Start showing her pictures of your dog that doesn't exist. Tell her she looks like a celebrity, but you
that
can't
the same
remember
guy?
which
Yeah,
one.
it's
Bang you dancing, bang she's all over you, bang you back at hers, bang she's twirling your chest there then. Best breakfast you've ever had. 10's only season. Son.
I'm not gonna lie, I did that dog shit before. I did that dog shit.
Jesus. So he likes MILFs, but he don't want to be in the friend zone.
So wait, what's an MEELF?
I think that's just the
His
way he
accent.
pronounced
Oh,
it.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
how
yeah.
he
Like,
said
I think he's
Oh.
saying just regular milk,
saying
but
milf.
It's
he's
his accent, you know.
I
like-
was excited. I was
Males.
about to
Yeah, I
learn
thought
a
it
new
was
bracket.
something
I was
different.
like, man, this is a new category to look
Like, I
up.
gotta find that on Pornhub.
Yeah. That's how you get around the filters.
When
you
I
know?
put my ID in, right? That's hilarious.
Well, let's keep it rolling. I'll have a few more questions here, but I don't know if they know this one.
One time I was hooking up with this girl and she said to me, this is going to sound bad.
Oh no, this one's boring. I've seen this one. Here we go.
What's your biggest boy ick?
Oh my god, I have an Ick list. Pull up the list.
Jesus.
Damn.
When people say lit, when boyfriend and girlfriends talk to each other in a baby
Facts.
voice. Oh my god.
Walk on their toes.
Facts.
When people shake food in their hand and throw it in their mouth.
Wait, I do that.
When people comment on celebrities' Instagram posts thinking that they're actually gonna read it. When people use a strap across their backpack. Ick.
Oh.
Because they want to be studious?
Yeah.
Damn.
They care about their back.
Okay, they trying to have better posture.
What do you think of those icks, and do you have any icks?
I would I would say the baby voice one does bother me. I do talk to baby voice, but only to my cat. Like like to my dogs, I feel like that's different. But like
Dogs don't get it.
Y'all ain't no bitches.
like I don't know, the baby voice, that's probably the only one that like really bothers me. I say lit sometimes. I don't know.
That's
But
a
also
generational
I'm
thing.
That's
younger. A lot of people in my age group like they say that all the time, so it's never bothered me.
What if that first old guy said lit? Would it bother you?
That would bother me, yeah.
This date is so lit. Wow. And he uses it in the wrong context.
Okay. Y'all jive around here.
Nice. Well, any others?
I'm trying to think of any. Oh, I think the main egg, and I just think this is like a turnoff. I don't even necessarily think this is an egg. It's just when people have bad hygiene. But like that, it's not really like an egg. There's
Scrub
nothing,
your tongue. Gotta scrub your tongue.
There's nothing really like specific that I can think of at this moment. I mean, I probably do have icks. Like when people like play like a really bad song, but they're like really into it. That really, really gets me.
Perfect. Well, thank you for sharing. I know you got some.
Listen, I start off the day with my ex. Look, I have my Icks, and then I pray, and then I go back to my Icks again. No, so yeah, we talked about lit being like a generational thing because I say dope a lot. So like, yeah, that's dope. So it's like something that I like. Okay, that's cool, but don't catch my ass saying lit. That's not gonna be it. I do not. I don't know. It's a lot of Icks. I think mine is like the paragraph sister just put up there because if I really broke down everything I don't like. Bad hygiene is on there. You should know your dentist by first and last name, basically. And I feel like, I don't know. It's just egos are a big thing for me. Like if you have a huge, just unnecessary ego.
What if it's necessary?
I ain't met one yet.
There's a difference between being confident and then just being too much.
Yes, like arrogant.
Yeah.
So wait, is the friend zone dude, is that confident or is that
arrogant?
That's arrogant, yeah.
Does how attractive you think he is
Does that change
have
it?
anything to do with how
if that
whether
was
it's
Idris
perceived as
Elba,
confidence or cockiness?
you're like, yo, he's so confident.
I mean, Ryan Reynolds could get it if that's how he came at me. But, you know, I mean, but I'm talking about Ryan Reynolds. We talking about as Deadpool. So if those who know Deadpool, you know, he ain't the cutest looking thing under that mask. But he put that mask on. He's everything.
So you're saying you'd fuck Deadpool, how he looks?
Fuck you. No, eyes closed or the mask on. But it's like my ex, like, the whole toe thing got me because it's like, well, the only people I know who walk on their toes are like babies or kids. So that's what I'm like. It's cute, but you see like a grown ass person, like, get your ass on. Like if we're not at the beach or something, don't do that shit.
I have literally seen like boys around campus just walk on their toes, and I don't get it. Yes, like
I thought you were gonna see them walk to class barefoot because I saw that
nasty.
all the time.
Oh my gosh, I've seen some crazy
went to a
things
white
on
school.
college campus.
It was creepy.
Oh,
It's always the same type of people,
thought about
khaki
it, Nick.
shorts and all that, no matter the weather, always barefoot.
No, in my school we had two types: black Air Forces and white Air Forces. That was it. Now the tiptoe walkers were like the basketball players. I did notice that, like they were trying to strengthen their cast. I'm like, sis, just put on high heels. But you know,
that's true.
Like,
That's true.
So that's all I saw. But yeah.
And you said you
Yeah, I thought of another one because this is actually very common at my school, and I don't know why, and it genuinely like freaks me out. Furries. There are so many
Really?
furries at Western
that's just-
Carolina. Like
That's crazy.
this is gonna sound really bad, but one time it was actually really scary. I did shrooms, and I was taking a walk around campus to like clear my head. And there was just furries, and it freaked me out because I was already tripping off of shrooms, and like just seeing like these people just dressed as like animals, it really freaked me out. I was out.
But it was just furries, or were there any of those like leather people that dress like dogs, you know? And are all
There were people
Walk
who
meat.
there were people who
Yeah.
did wear like collars. Like I don't know if they weren't necessarily like people weren't walking them on leashes, but I have seen people like in like the calf at, like literally wearing collars, and I don't get it. Like
Sure
I
wasn't the shrooms. That sounds odd.
No,
this is like
they're out there.
No, this is like day to day. Like the collars I've literally seen while I was like getting food.
Oh, that's freaky.
It is.
North
It's
Carolina.
I can't be in school.
I knew.
I don't know.
knew-
I think it's because Western Carolina is kind of like a hippie school, so we got a bunch
so
of
hippies
like,
just
well, we
dress
got a
up like
bunch
penguins
of.
and shit.
It's up there. It's just either a bunch of people who do drugs or a bunch of really weird people. That's like all it is.
Nope.
Nice.
I don't like the
I
sound of it.
knew a chick back in Atlanta. She went on a date with this really handsome dude, right? Like Ryan Reynolds, Idris Elba kind of level. And the date was going really good, right? But she messed up. She rode with him, right? And at the end of the night, they pulled up in a Publix parking lot, and she was like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna fucking die! Like this ain't even close to my house." And he was like, "Look, I got to tell you something." And she was like, "Fuck, and he was like, "I am a furry, and I like to be walked and treated like an animal." And I tell you, this
That would be
man,
the end of that date.
this
I
it
would've
was, but
walked
she
out
couldn't
of the
leave.
car.
She couldn't leave. This man came out with a leash and a collar, like the dog, like the one you cover so the dog don't bite people. And she was like, "Can you walk me? It turns me on." And she was like, mind you, this was her manager too.
Oh my gosh, it was her manager?
Yeah, this was her manager.
Shit.
Yeah, that shit is wild, bro. This shit wild. There's a lot.
I
of
would
weird
never
shit in
be
Atlanta.
able. I would never be able to take like.
Yeah.
Like they're my manager. If they're telling me to do something, I would be like,
Like,
no.
yo, do I get time off? do I get that PTO? Like, what's going on? No, Atlanta's crazy because I was a housekeeper too, and they would do. So I worked at like a prostitute crack motel, but they would have all types of weird events. Like we had a furry convention.
You just gonna skip over that like that was normal. Like,
it's normal there. But like now we had like furry conventions, and that shit was wild. Like I would have to be like like I would like do the catering, and I'd just see people dressed up like wolves and bunnies and fucking periwinkles.
Stop the cap.
That's
all types of shit. It's weird. It's a
See,
weird place.
I'll be single for the rest of my life if this is what we get into, because
it was an odd
I don't
place.
have time to walk in and my husband is like, "Oh, babe, I never expressed this, but I've been a furry all my life." Like,
But,
I'd be like,
question, but question, right? Like, you know, like outside of that, the guy, you don't know this yet. He's matching all your red flags, and he takes care of business like nobody ever has. And then afterwards, he's like, by the way, there's something I haven't told you. There's this furry convention in town, and I wanted to, you know, like,
I got you a costume.
yeah. What happens
you're saying
there?
this is like the perfect man, but he's a furry?
Perfect man, and you find out
That's his
after.
one thing.
You know?
That's his one thing he's
Ooh,
got.
Then it's still a no. I'm sorry.
Six
I
figures.
can't do it. Like
Six
I would
figures.
never be able to take him seriously
Mm-mm.
if he was just like he just came up to me. He's like I'm a furry. Like it's just who I've always been. No, you're not. You're weird.
So is there a fetish where you'd be like, you know what, I could look past, like if he was like, yo, I like to dress up like a baby, and I would,
No,
would you be
those
like,
are
you know what, it's
weird.
cool, goo goo gaga, I love my.
No, those are weird. Like that's weird. Why
What
are
about-
you? Because like
How do you figure out you got that shit? You know?
like no,
Like,
are
how
you
do
like
figure out-
attracted to or something? Because that would be like
that's kind of weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about pegging? Pegging.
Yeah,
is-
did you see a baby cry? You're like, damn, that looks sexy. Like, well, you just.
He
Wait,
going to
I
diaper
met
aisle
people
and
like
just-
that
There are
too.
people who are attracted to.
So
Or, like,
it's
wanna dress
so
up.
they
there's-
call it like age play or something, where there will be
Yeah.
people who dress
Have you ever
as
had a dreams that
Like that.
So what
that
it
you,
is, right?
you
Because I
had-
had a homie.
you-
and somebody sitting there like, yeah.
I had a homie. I was cool with him. He was a dishwasher with me back in the day, and he told me he's into that shit. And yeah, so what
they'll
he
like
likes,
dress as like little. They'll either
He
dress
likes-
as like toddlers or little kids. They'll wear diapers.
So it's not like an overly sexual thing. It's a kink kind of thing. Like they like
That's
it.
a sexual thing. There's
Yeah.
no way. it's
But like he
not,
was
you
like,
know?
yeah,
That
I
puts the
just
pee in
like
pity
I
for
like
me.
I like having my girl be like a baby, so I have to protect her. I was like, that's weird.
you can
man.
That
protect
is
me and I can
fucking
still be
weird.
myself.
Like she gotta wear the
Right.
diaper and all that. She's
Like,
like, yeah, you gotta
he
be in
go
the
up in
crib. I was like, damn.
He in the pull-up section having a whole arousal.
That's crazy.
Like,
This
oh,
whole time I
It's
thought you were
always
fathered
sexual,
by
you
a
know. It's
guy.
never that
it's-
sexual, you know.
yeah, like no.
Why are people attracted to?
That's what I'm saying. That like if you are into that, that tells me that you're like basically because you want me to look like a.
Figure out you like to get shit on. That's really another
That
one. Like what did you see a
You-
baby
you-
shit and you're like, damn.
Surprisingly
it.
enough, we had on the last episode we had a former dominatrix, and she had
Really?
clients that would like to get peed
Oh,
on.
yeah, that's facts.
Peed on in their face.
That's facts.
You know, and then she became a professional cuddler. So people
That's
would
good
just
money.
get cuddled.
What
you
a
know?
change.
That's
God,
good money.
really? So she
But
was
the
into
thing
like
is,
the.
like dominatrix don't really be fucking like that.
No, well,
they
they-
just
well, they-
control.
they
That's
pay.
it.
They don't.
They can't
Yeah.
pay
Because they're
Paying
not
is
like they're not like prostitutes. They're
Nah.
they're different.
Majority of the time you don't. I matched with one, so I learned real quick.
She's
But,
not
like,
a burger flipper. She's different.
Yeah, like I matched with a dominatrix once, and I learned real quick, like, yo, they don't fuck like that.
How
They-
many dates did you go on?
None. It
Really?
ended after she told me to stretch my Buddha hole out.
Good.
Yeah.
No, but again, how do you know you're into that until it happens?
I was
Yeah,
just
you
I
gotta
just wanted to
try
go
it.
down the rabbit hole with
How
it.
do you know you like
So did
tuna
she.
if you never
Yeah.
tried it?
I've been told that I'm a dom by somebody that's into S&M.
Is it because you called her a
Yeah. Care, bitch.
No.
Get naked,
He's
bitch.
like, dirty talk is my favorite. You know?
Nah,
Yeah,
nah,
these bitches
nah.
be
Yes.
bitching.
So talk to me like I'm scum, you
Nah,
bitch.
she's in the BDSM. She was trying to explain it all to me. She was like, "Yeah, you're a dom," and I was like,
He was like, I like that. Yep. I
don't
like
even
that.
know what it, I don't know what it is.
my
but-
name's Wafeeq, not Dominic. What are you talking about?
No, I had an ex who was into pegging, and it
That's
crossed
crazy.
my mind that it was like, yeah, like it was like one of those things. I was like, how did you know you were into this? Like, how did we start? How did we get here? And it did not help that he was 6'5". He was nice.
It
He was
always be
cool.
like
And
that.
I was like, I mean, he was white, so I felt like reparations was happening. And I felt like, this is
Like I gotta do this.
like, for my people. Like,
Why?
but it didn't go long because I was like, it was one of those things like, I don't know if I could like take you, but I didn't know if I could take that person serious. Like, don't yell at me because I'm like, look here, bitch, I had you bent over yesterday. Like,
yeah, it's a bad luck. You know, you can't get respect after that.
Wow, you actually did it
for my people.
Gotcha, bitch.
Nice. Do you have any icks, Wafeeq?
Oh yeah, I didn't answer that shit.
Icks. What are my icks?
Don't be a you know, but like
bitches be bitches.
I don't like when people talk about themselves a lot. When they talk exclusively about themselves. I've asked a question. You know what, Luigi? He asked me a question. I gave him an answer. I don't like when people talk about themselves. You know, I had a woman that was interested in me, and I tried having some conversations with her, and everything just came back to her. She was like, I do this, I do that, because you know I'm doing this, and I'm doing that. And it was like, oh, my God. How many times are you going to say I? It's just annoying.
It's like talking about yourself, you know?
Oh, my God.
No. I wasn't using that tactic. I used that tactic like 20-something years ago, not anymore. But
so when you look in the mirror, when you look in the mirror, like, what do you say? Like, like you like, man, Wafeeq, you be like, like
bitches right here.
Like, if this bitch talk about herself one more time, because Wafeeq, this bitch gotta be like.
It was annoying. Another ick of mine. I don't like people who are unnecessarily spiritual and stuff like I asked this same woman. I said, hey, how old are you? And she said, I'm not old. I'm actually not old. And I was like, what's your age?
Years young.
And she said, well, I'm actually millions. My age is in the millions. My essence has been here many times. And but I've made like 40 rotations around the sun. I was like, oh my God.
So you're 40.
She one of them grand risings, kids.
Yeah, just say you're 40. What are we wasting time with all of this stuff for,
it reminds
man?
me like when people are like, yeah, my baby's like 18 months. I was like, bro, it's a year and a half.
That's a year and a half.
Gosh,
Say that shit. Don't make me do math.
Yeah, my toddler's actually 36 months old today.
And I'm over here like,
yeah, I don't like.
Man, that thing too.
I hate that. I got icks for dudes as well. I don't like when I sit in we go to a restaurant and the guy sits directly across from me if there's chairs that he can sit in. Like if we sat here, I wouldn't want him to sit right in front of me. Right, you got to sit at an angle, cat a corner. I don't like that. I don't like if why?
Yeah,
just
why?
because I feel like
what if I just want to protect you? I'm looking at the door.
Yeah, I don't
want to
gaze
make sure
into
you're
the
good.
Is it like
What if
too
I got a
intimate
kink in
for
my
him to
neck?
be sitting like right in front of you?
Yeah, it is too intimate. Sit at an angle.
I'll just sit next
right?
to you.
You're saying that the penises can be like directly pointed at each other.
Direct penis aim.
I don't like when I'm on a couch and there's chairs available and a guy sits on the couch.
Right
Wait,
next
what
to
if it's
you.
a really comfortable couch?
You gotta pick a chair, man. You can't. I already got here first.
Even if it's a 3-seater, like opposite ends,
Yeah,
you
what if
know?
it's
No,
like
you can't sit
a
on the
Montgomery,
couch
Alabama
with me.
chair? I don't want to sit on that foldable chair.
Well, you need to bring somebody else with you to say, "Oh, they got the chair that's available. Now I have to sit
now
on
I
the
know
couch."
I need to call dibs on a couch.
Yeah, just
5
go
hours
to
in
someone
advance.
who's like at the hangout, be like, hey, can you sit in that chair so I have an excuse to sit on the couch?
Yes,
That's crazy.
yeah. That
Can you
is-
reserve my seat?
Good thing you weren't here for the last iteration of the podcast. It was on the couch. You know, it would have been uncomfortable for you.
I don't like people who don't read. People who don't read, I don't like them.
Fuck, I'm an idiot.
Just be like, well,
You gotta read something, man. I don't like when people
This
say, "I
is
don't
your
like to
man
read."
thing still? This
No,
is
just
still-
people in
Oh, I was
general.
like, damn, I hate men that don't read.
I read captions. Like, what?
Yeah,
Yeah, we read social media.
Yeah, it's lit.
That's amazing. Well, I got another. By the way, great job, panel. First time you're a natural. You know, like you're great on the mic. I wouldn't have
You
guessed
can
it.
make it. You can be a star.
I don't
Oh,
I don't like stupid people. That's another.
You know what?
Stupid
Since he's still
people,
going, I
man.
never even said mine. Man, hygiene is one. You gotta scrub your tongue. That's a fucking fact. That shit's gross. Nobody wants that white film on that shit. Girls with butterfly tattoos on their shoulder or arms is an ick for me. They're all crazy women.
But I have a quick question
What's up?
with the tongue thing that you just mentioned. Will you kiss a woman after you've gone down on her?
Yeah, I'll do that.
okay. So
That's different.
maybe a little
I
loose
scrubbed my
on
tongue.
that.
I scrubbed my
Suspense
tongue,
was there
dude.
for
I'll tell you, I was talking to this one woman, and
She ain't scrub her coochie.
she lived 3 hours away from me, right? This is like in college and shit. And she was like, "Hey, I'm coming up. You want me to roll through?" I was like, "Sure, I don't give a fuck." And she sent me a selfie.
What a gentleman.
She sent me a selfie with like her tongue sticking out, and that shit was yellow. And I had to talk to my friend about it. I was like, "Listen, I don't know what's on her tongue. It might be salmonella or something." But and
bitch got
my
jaundice.
friend, my friend was like, "Man, maybe it's lemonade or like Yellow Jolly Rancher. Like they don't make Yellow Jolly Ranchers, Brandon." So I asked her very like cautiously and around the bush, "Hey, do you drink a lot of Yellow 5 or Yellow Dye number 5, like all that type of shit?" Point is, I quickly told, she was like, "No, I drink a lot of water. I'm healthy." I'm like, "Okay, so not only do you have bad hygiene, but you a fucking liar." I was like, "Damn, I gotta go to the airport. Man, we're not gonna be able to hang out." She's like, "Oh my God, when?" I was like, "Now." I'm actually at the airport right now picking up my homie.
Question: how into her were you before? Because you told her, "I don't give a fuck if you roll up." So yeah, what's
Okay, so
I'll break you off a piece, I guess.
Be real, okay? I'm gonna give you the whole story. I was on Tinder, right? I was doing my thing. I matched with her. She messages me immediately, which isn't crazy. It happens. She was like, "Hey, do you remember me?" And I'm thinking, fuck, I don't know. It could be work, could be school, right? It could be work, it could be school, it could be whatever. I tell her, "Hey, sorry, I don't." She's like, "Nah, it's cool. Is your dad's name Joe?" And I'm thinking, who the fuck is this? Is this a debt collector? Like, how do you know this shit? And I tell her, "Yes, that's my father. Who are you?" She was like, "Oh, it's no big deal. I used to be your stepsister." And
shit.
Yeah. So I'm standing here and I'm like, damn, I really can't go through with this now. Like, I want to be able to go to heaven when I die. I don't want God to read my rap sheet and be like, "Yo, we don't do that shit no more." So I'm talking to her casually, like, "Hey, so how's your mom? How's your sister? Blah, blah, blah." She's like, "Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. We gonna fuck or not?" And I'm like,
"Oh, shit.
No.
Straight to the point. No hesitation.
And mind you, I'm at work right now. I'm a dishwasher, so I'm always on my phone. I don't wash shit. And I always get
your tongue.
only tongue. But I'm homies always with like the older people, like 60, 70. So I decided to ask this man for advice, thinking he's wise and whimsical. Turns out this motherfucker's from Alabama. So he told me, "Do it. You'll never get another opportunity." So I decided to hit up my father, who was once her stepfather. And I'm sorry, Dad. He told me, "Do it. Tell me how it goes. I bet it's just as good as the mother."
What? God.
Your dad was encouraging this?
Yeah, my dad's a terrible person. My dad named me Giuseppe just so I could get bitches. And I'm only getting my stepsister, so it's not working out. It's not working out, Dad.
That is terrible.
The stepsister, that's like being attracted to. Like, how long did you know that you was attracted to this person?
I didn't know she was my stepsister. I just generally was
you
like, "Yo,
knew
she's
pretty early on. She literally, that was like the first couple messages on Tinder, and you still decided to pursue it.
You still had to question
it was after a bunch of pictures.
Stop the cap.
You had to question it.
Yeah, you
still
gotta
had
run
to,
an investigative process. Yeah.
You knew it was wrong.
And the further question is, you don't remember your stepsister?
So the thing is, so my dad has been around the block, and so when he moved to Georgia, like when I was little, my mom and him were divorced before I could even walk. I thought it was normal to have your dad live in a different home. So whenever I would go to a friend's home and they have their dad, I'd be like, "Whoa, that's cool. Your dad lives here? That's fucking cool."
He paid rent, man.
That's crazy. But no, so he married this chick for like 1 year, and she had a daughter, and they divorced after 1 year. And when you have a name like Giuseppe in Georgia, you're the only motherfucking Giuseppe, so everybody remembers you, versus her name being like Rebecca, and there's 5,000 Rebeccas in fucking 5 miles. So it's kind of easy to remember me.
Do you think your dad would have liked the first guy in the video or the second guy in the video?
First guy.
Yeah.
First guy, hands down. I was like, man, if my dad was like today's generation, he'd be making all these type of videos.
That's my white daddy.
Let me dig into it. So do you think that, like, like, did you ever align with your dad's philosophy, or do you think because of your dad's philosophy that you like maybe went the opposite way in your approach with ladies?
I would say the opposite. There are, like, I'm gonna be honest, my dad's super smart. Like, he's smart. He says some weird ass shit.
Yeah,
but
he
like,
fucks obviously.
But when you
know,
look when you look at the underlying message of my father, he says a lot of smart shit. So like, I'll read it like, man, I don't want to keep digging on my dad.
Let's get him on the pod. You know?
Bro, it'll be good.
The daddy
he taught me how to send a proper dick pic. He's the one who taught me
That
that.
is a
shit.
crazy.
You gotta hold it like this. No.
The way that he told
Gotta
me,
get the
right?
angles right.
And then you
It's
put the
pretty
light
much.
on it.
The way he told me, right? He was like, Wafeeq, imagine your favorite meal. Your favorite meal. You got it in your head?
Yeah,
What
I do.
is it?
I'm gonna go with a cheeseburger.
You can do better. Wafeeq. Anyway, so imagine you sitting at the table and someone comes out and they bring it. They have this meal. You can smell a cheeseburger a mile away.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah,
damn, this smells delectable. I'm never gonna use that word again, but it smells great. And they have it on a silver platter, like the little hotel tray.
Yeah.
And he pops it open. You're like, damn, that's a good ass burger. And then they take that burger and put it on a trash can lid. You don't want that burger no more. That's how you gotta take your dick pic. You don't want to put your dick on a trash can lid, son. You want it to be pristine, right angle, right light. In my mind, I was like, so you're telling me when I go to job interviews, I should dress for success and dress like I want the job? And he's like, no, I'm just telling you how to send a dick pic, but you could do that if you want. So my dad's super smart.
I'm sorry.
Advice.
I don't.
Sage
Advice, boy.
Yeah, he's like,
I
your
mean-
resume's a dick pic of jobs, you know. Like.
You saw the logic in it. You saw the underlying message.
And my father is just like, no, I'm just telling you how to fuck bitches. Like, that's it, son.
He's like sage advice without knowing it, you know.
The thing about that is, I don't care how clean the dick pic is, I'm still not gonna like it. So like that was.
I'm an examiner, so don't send it to me because I'm like, what's that? Why is it like that?
Why is it curved? What's that thing on?
Are you holding it? Like, how big are your hands? Measure your hand.
Why do you say you're not going to like it?
I don't like it when like guys randomly send dick pics. I think
Okay,
it's
so
question
I'll
on
say
that:
this,
you're
I'll say
already
this.
getting dick pics, and like in your generation, people are sending dick pics unsolicited.
The time.
Really?
Snapchat did.
Yeah, these kids are wild.
I've been getting dick pics since I was like, I want to say old.
That's
man.
good.
Yeah,
That should not even drop yet.
But you gotta think, like, y'all are more into the Snapchat, so they like, yeah, it disappears, but they don't know.
And like
no,
they,
that shit-
it's
Yeah,
just
that's what never let my kids have
it's just
fun.
I don't like that.
My
Like
thing-
especially being exposed to that from like such an early age. It was like it's so bad. Like being just like constantly getting those because like when I was younger I would try and make new friends on Snapchat, like add people who like would add me, I'd add them back, and then just randomly just see that out of nowhere, like being
Yeah, I don't want
I don't
random.
think, I don't think
want dicks that
nobody
I don't
likes
know.
a random dick pic.
Yeah, I
but
don't want-
like
yeah.
if you're with someone and you really like them, maybe you'll be like, that's cool.
But if I've seen it in real life,
why are you sending it to me?
I'd rather just see it in person personally.
That's valid.
I don't want like a random like. It can't. The
shit
whole
sucks
like
when you get a random
making a
dick
new
pic.
friend, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden he's like, okay,
Surprise.
Yeah, no. But
I
if
got a
it's
random boot pic the other day,
from like somebody you've never seen their titties.
Yeah. But like I've been doing a lot of outreach with the podcast, so like I've been like
get on your
I've been
show.
following artists, I've been following strippers, I've been following everything.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure with some Indian guy, like some guy in India messaging me under this profile. But I'm like, no, I'm just a creator. I thought it was a local, person. And they're like, yeah, like let's like, oh yeah, message me on here to OnlyFans, obviously. It's like I have no interest, And then the next day, for some reason, at 3 a.m., right, wherever fucking it's 9 a.m. India time, and then they're like, oh, boom, random boot pic,
Random tits.
Are you sure you haven't changed your mind? I'm like, I'm a creator. I'm trying to get you on the podcast if you're a real person.
If you're a real person.
Like,
But yeah, even the dicks that I've seen before, sometimes I'll be like, damn, I did that. That was small. But it's like, I don't.
You gotta
ruin
choose the right
magic.
lens,
You ruin the magic of it.
You
You gotta at least reveal it in person first before you start sending.
But even if I've seen it in person, I'll be like, damn, I gotta go.
Damn, I'm sick. I gotta call out.
I gotta go catch this flight real quick.
yeah, you want that imperfect memory. You're like,
crazy.
she
I
had
left
a
my
great
gas tank
time.
open.
You want her to just remember. You don't remember too many of the details. Just know you had a good time.
You had a good time. But yeah, like random dick pictures, no.
Nobody
Okay.
likes that shit.
Well, let me show you this person, then we'll talk about later if you think he'd send a dick pic or not.
I could tell by the first image of him. I'm just letting you. That's my. Yep. absolutely does. He does it right in that angle too.
You better stay the fuck away from them.
With his head.
Stop being so
Angry guy
fucking
again.
desperate for their fucking attention. Stop waiting for them to fucking change. Stop hoping that they become the fucking person that they once were when they met you. They don't give a fuck to be that. What don't you understand? Huh?
Yo, he'd win a staring
If
contest.
they gave a fuck about you, they wouldn't have switched up on you in the first motherfucking place. Why do you think they switched up?
Because they're whores.
Fucking
It's not for you to
bitches.
accept that they don't give a fuck about you.
That's why Wafeeq leave the
Once
house
you
in the
fucking
morning.
do, finally have that
That's what he says
motherfucking
in the mirror.
mindset to move the fuck on.
Nah, that's Giuseppe's dad.
No, my dad
for you to
chill.
accept
My dad would be like,
that
yo,
they
you
don't
need
give
to
a fuck
relax,
about
bro.
you.
I think the
Once you
underlining
fucking do,
message here
you'll
is to
finally
stay
have
the
that
fuck away from
motherfucking
them.
mindset
Oh, I thought you
to
were going to say
move the
Giuseppe's
fuck
dad.
on.
I was like, yeah, that's valid too.
You understand me?
He hasn't blinked.
Not
once.
at all. I don't trust him.
You keep hoping.
He's crying inside.
His
It is an
hands,
emotional message.
He's
his
crying.
hands big as
You
hell.
ain't going
though.
shit for your fucking mouth.
I'm noticing the hands.
That knife hand, man.
He's slapping bitches. He's slapping bitches all day.
Yeah, he'd make a good drill sergeant.
And they're laughing.
Just people.
They love every fucking moment of it.
Victoria is analyzing his dick pic potential.
He's shaped like a dick picture. Like,
Yeah, he
Give
got,
a fuck less that you're going through all these motherfucking emotions that you're
I don't
going
like
through.
that the left side of his head is pulsating. I don't like that shit. That little curvature you got right there, it's moving.
that's a perfect dick picture.
So, Wafeeq,
Start
let me.
with the feet. Yeah.
I want to ask you a question, Wafeeq.
Yeah.
If you had to take life advice between him and that first dude about the friend zone thing, who would you go to their? Which masterclass would you go to? His or the kid?
This guy, and that's why I was saying
His
I
bitches.
actually like this guy.
Yeah.
And the reason why is
Because y'all both bald.
no, we both have big hands, but it's because I like him because his delivery, right? And see, I've never been one. I grew up in a time where we couldn't really care much about people's deliveries, right? So this is why they tried to recruit me into the Marine Corps because they was like, we think you're tough, you can take it. I don't care about his delivery of screaming and stuff like that. I'm listening to his message, and then I'm looking at
underlining message.
right. Then I'm looking at somebody like Analise who says she's been getting dick pics since she was years old. Now that disgusts me, and immediately I want to go whoop somebody's ass. Right? Why are you dick picking a year old? So I think this kind of guy.
I like that this panel listened to the speech of what we should talk about before the podcast.
Right. So I want this guy to talk to Analise every day and say, "This is what you're going to be dealing with. Do not trust." And that's why I would feel fine about telling, because I look at Analise.
They're not gonna respect you, Analise.
Like she can be somebody. She can be somebody who's close to my daughter, right? I don't have kids, but I look at her kind of like, all right, she could be my daughter, and that's the kind of person I would tell you, hey, look, every guy is. I don't know what's the bitch equivalent
Every
of a
guy
man.
is a bitch
Yes.
until proven.
He's a fucking dog. He's a fucking dog.
Yeah,
Look at me.
I would
He's a
tell her.
fucking dog.
No, you
And
gotta
I would
say
tell
bitch.
Annalise,
It's
every
a
guy
bitch.
is a dog until he proves otherwise. Because I
So
don't know
why,
All dogs
Why
wanna
can't a
wag their
woman be a
tail
dog?
until they-
Why does
because
she have
it's
to outright
different
automatically
because
be a
that's not a
bitch?
problem. That's not a danger for the man. So I'm going by what's
But
the
a danger for the man, a
But
danger
let's
for a
not
woman.
get
No.
caught up in the semantics.
Okay,
That's
then
not
every
a
man and every
dangerous-
woman is a bitch until proven guilty.
No,
Hate
because
everyone
it's not even the
until they
same.
prove that they're worth
Yeah,
liking.
every
The
dude,
PG version of
He's
it.
like, Victoria, stop turning into a bitch, or I'm gonna have to
Right.
tell you what.
Because
No,
bitches
no.
be bitching.
semantics. I'd be like, Annalise, listen, every dude is a dog
Bitch.
until he proves otherwise. Don't trust any of these dudes.
'Cause
And
they're
then-
bitches.
And I'd be
If you want
fine
life
with
advice,
this
I
guy.
give you. You can talk to my dad if you want.
He needs to write a book.
Yeah, man. 'Cause I'm like,
I swear to God, if I call him, he'll take over this whole podcast.
like,
Give his ass
yeah.
a book, a recorder. Just go for it, Dad. Like,
Yeah. So the in answer to your question, the other guy we saw, he's malicious. He's running games. I don't like that. I like this dude because
knows.
his underlying message is pure, and he's
Aggression.
he's trying to protect you. So I would rather this guy give my children advice and talk to Analise to make sure she doesn't get caught up in some foolishness from some idiot college student that's been dick picking her since she was 12 years old. I feel like somebody needs to be in jail behind that, man.
I know it happens all the time. It's been happening for such a
And
long
your friends
time.
too, I imagine they got.
Yeah, no,
it's
this
just
is
the
this isn't
generational
like this
technology
isn't just
too, man.
like happened to me. This has been happening to like I've seen it happen to like my little sister,
That's
and like
terrible.
that just like breaks my heart because like
But that's what
you
turns
know.
you. You can see a dick too early. You be like, fuck it. Like, I don't want
yeah,
to.
no,
Damn,
that's
I'm
why
gay.
like I can't do
like women.
that.
I like furs.
I like dressing up like animals.
Yeah.
Call me a baby.
now being
Goo goo
older.
gaga.
Let me with this shit.
And we had porn when I was 12, but we didn't have the access to
Not like
show
that,
a
yeah.
body part to
No.
somebody anytime we wanted. I feel like it's mad
we
disrespectful.
and you about the same age, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had like, it was like the little Nintendo thing, but they were able to have like the internet access for a second. I remember them coming to school and people like, look, it's a titty on here. Like it was like, they were able to get some of his stuff, but it was like to this aggressiveness of like, I can Snapchat you my dick like that.
Sending dick pics back in the day was hard. My dad taught me that.
I mean, it's gonna take an hour to download.
CVS.
You know? Like,
Nah,
shit.
not even. He used to tell me like, yo, it was hard. Like one, you gotta take a picture with one of those like little
Disposable cameras.
and you can't really tell what you got.
Yeah,
until
he was
you
like, I just
develop
show it in real life, son.
And
you
then
know,
you gotta
the
get
dick
it
pic.
developed, and that 1-year-old doing that summer job has to look at that shit.
Go to Walgreens.
And
You have a
then
package.
you gotta mail that shit, and if you write the wrong address, you breaking a home. Because now the husband gonna think, who the fuck's dick is this?
I just, because I've seen so like it just happened to me from such a young age. That's why like I don't care if I like you if you send one, like
That's valid.
it's an automatic no.
It should
It's-
be,
It's
yeah.
just because like I can't.
You see, and they say I'm crazy for having walls up and telling other people put walls up to protect yourself. This is what we dealing with. People are dick picking and little girls are getting
Jesus Christ, man! I gotta edit
wait a
this
minute.
podcast.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry,
It's
man.
gone.
I'm telling everybody, yo, put your walls up, man. I told my sister the same thing.
'Cause
I'm not letting you
everybody's
get
a
taken
bitch.
Exactly. Everybody's
Bitches
out
and
to get
bitches.
you until they prove otherwise.
And that, I mean, but again, that's also bringing your old and past relationships with people
Good,
into
you
the
should.
same thing. Because no, you cannot. You cannot treat everybody like they're a criminal. You cannot treat everybody like they're horrible. And I'm saying this for somebody who has dealt with somebody who, like my ex, he spent 18 years in prison. I could easily treat him like he's a regular prisoner. He's a regular person. Like he's a regular person. He decided to be better. So if I treated him like how he was treated for 18 years, I look at him like, oh, you're never going to be better. You're only going to be the same piece of shit. Then I have a brother who is in prison who has been in there for 10 years for holding up somebody for no gunpoint, no weapon, no abuse of the lady or anything. And he's been in there for since he was 17 years old. So if I looked at him like, oh, you're a bad person, then I treat everybody like that. That's not the case.
What does that have to do with a dick pic?
Because if he sends his dick picture to whatever chick he's fucking with, but like it's if I treat everybody the same fucking way, that's how I'm gonna go into every relationship with every
this
person.
is the bitches thing.
Yeah, and quick
Yes.
question, and then I think Annalise had something to say. Is if somebody sends you a dick pic, is it a deal breaker?
Yes.
It depends on what it looked like.
Okay.
It look like this or it look like this.
Wildly
Like,
contrasting.
If it's in
stories.
between, I gotta see you gotta have a ruler up. You can't just send me one and be like, it's all in the camera, and I'm like, I don't know how big that thing is.
Edit that.
No,
Listen.
Annalise, it seemed like you wanted to say something as they were like.
Yeah, I just like because of like getting exposed to that at a young age, I'm very cautious of that, and like to me that's like especially since the people I'm going for are in my age range. And like if people are sending those now, it most likely means they like sent them before, sent them when they were younger.
They got a folder of that. It's like
So
bitches
I
like
don't
this
know,
one.
I'm just very cautious
I
of
took
it.
this one
'Cause
3
it's
years
like-
ago. It was a great line and haven't been able to get a better one.
I
shaky
say
to do
this. I prefer we err on the side of caution. Now, your brother's situation, that's prison, right? That's going into the employment field. I wouldn't want to treat somebody based on them having a criminal record. I wouldn't want to treat them differently like that, right? But what we're talking about here, we're talking about how we operate with each other in terms of giving people our trust and in potentially getting into a relationship. I say it's better to err on the side of caution. I would be perfectly fine if we were getting involved, right? And you were evaluating me based on your past experiences, because that's just life. We move forward based on what we learned in the past. That's how we gain experience and we can make better decisions. I would say, you know what? She has to protect herself because there's a lot of weird dudes out here hurting women, and I'd be fine with that. I say err on the side of caution.
There's nothing wrong with having your walls up a little bit, but like, there's nothing wrong with being cautious about it. But if I walk
Speaking to the mic, please.
If I walk into every relationship thinking, I'm thinking as if I'm a woman, man, this dude's gonna send me a dick pic at some point. This dude's gonna send me a dick. Then I'm never gonna want to talk to a motherfucker.
But would you guys mind unsolicited titty pictures?
Depends on the titties.
I would.
Depends on
You
the
said you would like it?
No, I'm saying
you
I
would
would mind.
You would mind.
Oh
so
yeah, I
it.
don't like that shit.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm not sure that.
I am an equal opportunist distruster.
Stop the cap.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm like,
No, I wouldn't want that. But I'm like, yo, don't trust anybody because I naturally just don't trust anybody as it is. But I would teach that to my kids. Yo, look, little girl, every dude out here is a dog. You got to be on guard for that. And if I see an abusive kid, hopefully it wouldn't be to the extent that I was in and the guy that we were talking about earlier. I would have no problem with people putting up walls to keep themselves protected because I say err on the side of caution because there's a lot of crazy abusive predators out there and I don't want you to go out like that.
Yeah, and if you had a son, it would be the other advice from earlier.
Bitches.
But no, not bitch. No, that's different. That wouldn't be necessary because boys are different from girls in that aspect. A boy growing into a man can tend to guard against something like that. For it to be a problem for a boy, it has to go to level 100 and extremity, which is where I was. And like I said on the pod, first day of 9th grade, mom was like, be a gentleman, be a gentleman. First day of school, gangster girl walks up, kicks the dude in the groin, drops him like a rock. She and her girl stomp him out. They run his pockets right in front of me. I'm like, yo, this is the type of environment.
Where did you go to school at? Lean on me? Shit.
it was close to it. And I'm like, yo, you telling me.
Mr. Clark.
I'm like, yo, I can't, by the natural rules on the outside, I'm not going to hit a girl. I'm going to be respectful. I'm going to be a gentleman. But that's not where you're sending me to school.
See, I would tell my son, you don't hit women. You do shake the shit out of them, though. And that is, you shake them like babies. You see
I say defend yourself.
Yeah, my mom similarly. My mom said, you should never hit a woman, but you should never let a woman hit you. And then she left a gray zone in there. She didn't explicitly say it, but she's like, don't let it.
He said cross the line. No, but I do agree. Once you swing on a man, expect to be swung back on. And I'm not saying that. Well, I also was like, I'm an aggressive female when it came to defending myself, but I'd rather defend myself than say like, oh, I'm gonna call the police on your ass because.
So you kick the guy and then that's just what you're telling me.
Definitely, or I shattered a windshield or so, allegedly. So those are the things that I'm gonna do. I mean, and I also will hold a utensil up that happens to go bang and for threatening purposes of that, to let people know don't fuck with me. So that's it.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm fine with all of that. I just want people.
You got a real Wafeeq energy with that.
I like that. I just say be protected.
Bitch.
I remember. I told my sister when matter of fact, she was. And I was like, all right, look, these dudes are evil. I just need you to know that. All right, so don't be stupid. I told her, don't ever listen to a man. Don't trust any man in your age group because they're all lying. No matter what they say, they're all lying. And I got a lot of female cousins that are coming up too. I got one that's like 19. I told her the same thing. I was like, look, don't trust any man because they're all lying, every single one of them. And that's extreme, but I say that because I would rather her err on the side of caution so that she's extra cautious. So that way she keeps the foolishness out and then the one good one can get in. It's just like going outside. I'd rather put on a nice heavier coat when I know that it's going to snow just to be on the safe side rather than be caught out there with a nice windbreaker type joint and now I'm freezing cold.
I love it. I want to switch gears a little bit here real quick and we'll have everybody s'mores based on some of the things that you sent in. Now, all of you, I asked you all in the pre-show notes, to list some attractive qualities that you like in a potential person. I'll start with Giuseppe. You filled it out twice. And the response in the first one was confidence, drive, and booty.
My man, yes.
Bitches.
Now the second time, it was confidence, humor, and booty. You know,
As
like
long as
when
we
you-
get booty, that
Booty
gotta
never
make sure
changed.
booty's always there.
So between drive and humor, what do you prefer?
Drive.
Okay, I like it. Analise, you also wrote them in twice. In one, you put good sense of humor, someone who likes to spend time together, good at expressing their feelings. Okay. And the second one, you wrote a good sense of humor, someone who enjoys adventures and spending time together, someone who is family oriented and a hard worker. Between somebody who is family oriented and a hard worker and good at expressing their feelings, which one do you prefer?
I would probably say family oriented because I feel like if you're really like in tune with your family, I think most of the time people who are family oriented are better at expressing their feelings because they express feelings with people they love all the time. Like usually if you're family oriented. I'm not saying that's the case for everyone, but
Perfect. No, thank you. And Victoria, height, eyes, lips, teeth, and hands.
Hey. Because you're always attracted to the outside. Like I hate when people are like, well, I really want them to be like this, because you don't know any of that until you really get to know them. So if I have to go off of like based off of I saw this dude walk in, like, all right, he got 4 out of 5. But it's like you can't. I just don't. I don't know how that person's gonna be, and I'm used to manipulators who can change with the wave of like, oh, she likes somebody who likes to go on the beach. Oh man, I surf. Like, no, the fuck you don't. You've never been in the water. But
They're like, they're on a tightrope. This girl's about to put me in the friend zone immediately.
It's
if I
going blocked.
answering correctly.
But it's like, for me, those are the like, as soon as I see you, this is where it goes, and then I can say, you're either going here or there, and that's it. So, yeah.
Okay.
Do you know what would help you manage those manipulative people who are changing, as you said?
Call them bitches.
If you adopted the philosophy that every man is a
Bitch.
dog until he proves
If you
otherwise.
listen to my underlying message, by the way, my book is coming out called Women and Men Are Bitches and Dogs.
Bitches. That's all I was gonna say. But I mean, I get that, but it's like, because you never know what kind of person that person is. Like, their mindset, some people are weird. And I mean, nobody knew what Jeffrey Dahmer was up to until it was way too far and they saw, like, oh, it's the refrigerator. It's like, no, like, y'all smelled that shit a long time ago, but didn't nobody say, let's go check it out. No. So I just feel like until you're proven guilty, you're a bitch.
I love it. Everybody having a good time so far?
Of course.
Okay, awesome. I have another little video for y'all. And this will be a little bit different. It's not a dude this time. Let's see what y'all think.
I used to have this problem where I absolutely never realized that men were asking me out on dates. Like, I truly just thought they wanted to be my friend because I'm a really cool friend, and why wouldn't they want to be my friend? But, like, I did not pick up on any romantic interest or sexual attraction whatsoever. So one time I went out with this guy probably twice a week for an entire month, but we always went to movies, so there wasn't a lot of nuance, and anytime I tried to pay, he'd be like, oh, I have a gift card. So, like, I just thought we were cool movie buds, you know? But then after a month, he started sending me these very sexually charged texts and telling me about dreams he'd had about me, and I was telling our mutual friend, like, hey, Ben's being really weird. And she was like, I mean, it seems like a normal relationship trajectory to me. You know, you guys been dating for a month, haven't you? And I was like, have I accidentally been dating a guy for a month? Like, another time I had a similar instance with this guy who was my coworker, and he was 20 years older than me, and when I finally put 2 and 2 together, he screamed, I left my wife for you, which is wild because I was 20 years old. Like, if you've had a wife before, don't try to date 20-year-olds. Another time I was out with a big group of friends, and as the night was winding down, one of them was like, hey, do you want to come back to my house? And I was like, I mean, yeah, I guess. Like, he just told me he got a pet axolotl, and I assumed he just wanted me to see his pet axolotl. So we went back to his house, and he tried to make out with me, and I was like, well, I really don't like you like that. And he was like, then why are you here? And I was like, I don't know. So anyway, like, I was just like thinking about this, because sometimes, like, I lie awake at night thinking about all the men who are probably like, Kate's such a biatch. She friend-zoned me and led me on and stuff. And imagine thinking that when I was actually just an oblivious little weirdo with no ill intentions who just wanted to see an axolotl every now and then.
Facts.
I would have said
let's
that
start,
too.
let's start over here. Annalise, what is your reaction to that?
I just think she seems just like
everything that a guy says just goes right over her head. Because I think it's very easy to tell when a guy is romantically attracted to you and when they're trying to be friends. Like, I am, like, at least to me, I think it is. Like, I can tell if
You said when they send you the dick pic? Yeah.
Yep, that's how I know. Like, I genuinely think that, like, I can tell, like, if a guy's texting me and they want to hang out with me, I can tell whether it's motivated by they want to, like, get to know me in a relationship sort of way, or if they genuinely want to be friends.
Yeah.
Some men are dumb at talking.
But like, it seems like, do you think that she should have known by the repeat offenses, or do you have friends like this that may not notice?
I don't know. I've never had like someone who genuinely thought a guy was trying to be their friend. Like, we always assume the worst with yeah.
I mean, I think that's a fair assumption. If a guy's approaching you,
yeah,
what are the odds that he just wants to be your friend?
Especially if they want to hang out like alone, like just like you two one-on-one. It's different. Like if like your friend, like not friends, but like you're just starting to talk to a guy and they invite you to like a party or they invite you to like a get together with a bunch of people. I think that's different than, but like one-on-one time, especially if it's like repeating multiple times, they're definitely like something's up. Like they either like you or, you know.
I'm laughing because I think I'm guilty of this. I'm guilty of it. Like, I wake up and be like, why your dick out? Like, that's crazy.
Well, that's not an axolotl.
Because I feel, when she started talking, I was like, damn, I have definitely been in that predicament. Like, we was just kicking it, drinking, laughing, and then all of a sudden your dick is out. This is crazy.
You said, well, you told me not to send you a picture.
Like, but it was just like one of those scenarios. I was like, I thought like, oh, she had too much to drink. She's gonna lay on the couch, and I was like, oh, that's weird. But it's like, I guess I am guilty of this because it's like, okay, if we go like the movies, I'm not getting to know you. I don't like, we're just watching whatever's out. Like,
Yeah,
I feel
it's
like
not really a lot.
Like, I take my kids out to the movies all the time, so it's like it's like I look at that as something innocent of like.
It's just if a guy says, "Hey, let's go watch this movie," you don't think anything.
I don't, because I feel like, well, shit, maybe you was bored, maybe you didn't want to take your mama this time. I don't know, and I was there.
Yeah. So.
Bitches.
I'm not dating, right? I'm not out there in the world like that to be dating. So, but if I was, this would not be a problem for me because I think it's something that comes with experience too.
Valid.
After a while, you should just tell people what's up. Tell people the truth. Tell them what you want to do from the beginning. If it was me and I was to approach a woman, I would tell her the very first conversation.
Would you mind tilting your mic a little bit? Just so it's
tilt it up,
down, maybe.
Down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would tell her the first conversation, look, I'm romantically interested in you. This is not just going to be a friendship type of thing.
When do you tell her?
I would tell her immediately. I would make it clear. That's why I was telling Alex. Once again, why he was in that situation.
Because he ain't want to tell these bitches, hey, I want to fuck her.
Right. What did I tell him? I said, look, she has to know every step of the way your intention. She's thinking something else, right? So I would get to the point where it's like, look, from the jump, I'm trying to be romantic. I'm not trying to be your friend. I'm not that type of dude.
Can I interject real quick? Because I feel like they need the context here of this.
Hold on. Can I step up?
Huh? Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Times she needs to know that you're down to fuck. At all times, she needs to know that you want to have sex with her.
Emily, what do you think about that?
At all times.
Yeah, and what do you think?
I'm gonna be.
Wait, no, this is serious.
Then it's like if you're like, like I'm just here to fuck.
No, I didn't
then
say
it's
that.
like, I'm not gonna come to you with anything real.
I didn't say that. Here's how it sounds. Here's how it looks. Here's how it sounds. Incorporate talk about sex in the conversation. Every now and then. What else? Watch a movie or suggest a movie that has sex in it. But
maybe a guy tried this with Victoria and she didn't get the hit, you know?
Conversation. So she knows you are not the.
Because, he says a movie.
Oh, I was just reacting to what he's saying. That's weird.
To be more than her friend.
No, but he needed.
That's negative. I'm sorry. Listen, here's the thing. Sex is the last thing that's on my mind. And literally for...
I mean, maybe not the last thing.
No, it is.
At all times.
Yeah, but basically, I think what you mean with Wafeeq is that you need to be intentional. You can't leave it up to confusion that she thinks that you're taking out as a friend or whatnot, right?
And you know what's missing from that? How long have they been together? a year and a half of
she knew
fumbling along of trying to be the nice guy. I'm always going to be here for you. I'm the friend. And she's thinking
like,
she's
you're
a
my
friend.
Like,
and he's wondering, why have we not advanced to the romantic level? Because you didn't tell her that you would like to be romantic with her. Because like, she should know by now.
Because like some people like are old school with it. Like some people are like, hey, you haven't asked me to be your girlfriend.
Yeah.
You haven't asked me to be your boyfriend. So we're not dating right now. We just
It's-
for some reason we're been in a talking stage for 4 months right now.
Yeah. Now
But
Emily was confused. She was thinking I was saying, hey, you need to be forcing sex. Come to approach this woman with, hey, I'm trying to get in your pants. No, they're way past
Well,
that.
like I don't think you need to openly say like, hey, I want to fuck. You know, like I feel like if you do it the correct way, you ask her and you know, cordially like, hey, I want to be your boyfriend. I want to be your girlfriend. We've been doing this for a while, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, cool. I think then it will naturally just happen. But I don't want to be like, hey, I want to be your boyfriend. Cool, we're dating. Okay, let's fuck.
Question for you. Let me interject real quick. You would be boyfriend and girlfriend with somebody that you haven't fucked.
Correct.
Stop the cap.
I'm very picky about shit. I know. I like to go down the rabbit hole with this whole dominatrix and stepsister shit. I just find that shit entertaining.
Yeah.
Once it comes across, but I'm very picky about who I give my dick to.
I love it. Let's go around the table. Wafeeq, do you need to have had sex with a person before you decide whether they're boyfriend or girlfriend? Or
No.
Okay, perfect.
No, I would be approaching it to get married without having sex with the person.
Okay, nice. You gave us your answer. Victoria, do you need to have had sex with a person to be boyfriend, girlfriend?
Yes. Like, I don't want to know this shit gonna be whack. Like, fuck, I committed to this badass shit. Like, I don't.
I love the contrast, by the way.
You know, keep in mind, she's already piecing together the dick pic 5 minutes into the conversation.
I've been noticing the print on it. I think it's 5, 6.
He should have put a ruler next to it. Like, I just.
Why don't pants always come with a ruler? That's crazy.
They really should. Your hand should. Matter of fact, tattoo a ruler on your hand. That gives you a better perspective. But I feel like it is cap if you sitting there talking about, no, I want to be with this person. Because I just feel like the day and age that we're in, like, it's like equivalent to buying a car. I'm not just going to get anything just to have it.
It's valid.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like right now, I'm finna turn in that electrical vehicle because I was like, well, I needed it for right now. But that bitch ain't, she don't have my real heart. But this next car I'm getting, you know, with gas.
You want a tall truck.
Yeah,
you know,
I want to feel like that bitch. And like that's what you do. So I feel like
with big wheels, you know,
big wheels, big, you know, everything.
Ryan Spinners.
Now don't get me wrong, the electrical vehicle is cute, but like even after this, I got to charge it.
I need that diesel.
If you haven't driven a car in a few months, you might be like, oh, I'll take the bike.
I'll take this right now, but don't call me after this.
Nice. How about you, Analise?
I would say it doesn't matter. I'm actually trying really hard to not trying really hard, but I've had a problem in the past, like especially going into college with a lot of guys trying to use me just for sex and just for my body.
Yeah, it must be wild out there. I can imagine.
Bitches.
I mean, they're sending dick pics. I can't even imagine the rest. You know.
Yeah, and I've had a problem with like guys trying to do that, and I'm right now like I don't want to just like hook up with guys, and so I am making it like my mission. Like if you actually want to like be with me in that way, we have to like be together or be something at least.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's nice.
Very commendable.
Yeah.
Very good commendable.
You
You got a good head on your shoulders. Yeah, damn, you know.
I'm gonna send you my daughter's number. Y'all gonna be friends. Just y'all
they're gonna try to change you. They're gonna tell you that's not realistic. They're gonna tell you you're gonna see podcasts with men on it telling you stuff like that's stupid, that's unscientific, that's not natural. They're going to say stuff like, you need to go ahead and give it up to him so he can think clearly, because if we can get that out of the way, now he can think clearly and get to know you. And you're going to have some women that's going to come to say the same thing. Don't listen to any of that.
Are
Stick
you
to
talking
your
about
guns.
me, Wafeeq? No, I'm just like, even for me though, like, don't just be like, oh yeah, I just met him today, we're going to have sex and then now we can date. Like, no, give it some time, but like, don't just be like, I saw him at a party and we just had sex. And like, no,
I'm in love.
He's right forever, Mom. You don't understand.
He doesn't know my name yet, but he has an axolotl.
Also,
it's
while
so
I'm
cute.
I'm a Libra.
Also a weird name for his dick, but
yes. By the way, too,
Why is it
with
blue?
that statement, I didn't say tell her I want to fuck. She has to know.
But
it,
no,
though.
like
It's
it has to be
Yeah,
addressed. Like
the
yes,
attention
after
has to be-
after 2 months, if we've been like kicking her, like, all right, what you doing this for? Because
she's
it's
gotta
either we friends, but don't let me come up and then we like, oh, we out drinking, and all of a sudden your dick's out. Like that is unnecessary.
Did that happen to you?
Yes.
Yeah, you live in a wild experience.
Because I have like I'm cool. So like old girl said, I don't know when people are flirting with me or like. If you don't tell me, hey, bitch, I like you, like, I'm like, I don't know. I'll just be like, I've always been treated like the cool girl because my brother played football with me. I knew how to throw a football. I knew how to play. I was a wrestler. Like, I did things around guys all the time. So I never looked at it like, oh, they trying to fuck. Like, it was my intentions of like, yo, we hanging out. We want to go have a drink. We want to, shoot the shits. But I looked at them like girls. Like, I'm not fucking every girl that I'm hanging out with. Like, that's ass backwards. So
what percentage of the girls that you're hanging out with are you fucking?
None of them. Not the ones currently.
Stop the cap.
Back in the day. No. But no, like, for me, it's just like, you have to be upfront. I'll say this, and this is the only time you're going to have this recorded, that I will agree with Wafeeq.
You agree with me all
women
the
are
time.
bitches.
Women are bitches. No, that you do have to address the idea, like, okay, we've been kicking it for 2 months, and then all of a sudden, like, we either are friends or is this a romantic, like, are we leading into the romantic side of this, and this is more than a friendship? You have to let me know, because if you approach me and all of a sudden, like, yeah, I gotta go to the bathroom, you come out and with your dick out, it's unreal. That's like me going to the
How
bathroom.
many times have people come out just with their dick out? To
I have
you?
woken
Like,
up with like dick, and I'm like,
What
are you doing over my head? This is crazy. Like,
yeah,
like,
the woman
That's
experience
not
is just
actual
wild, man.
but
Like,
it came from, hey, I'm hanging out with you, we're drinking, we're shooting the shit, we talking about, how the girl sent you, a little clip picture, whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sitting here like, ha ha ha. But it's like, that should not be my feel. Like, I shouldn't have to feel like, well, if I go hang out with them, they gonna try to fuck. It's like, no, I don't want to feel like that either.
That's why I advise guys too, that because people for some reason come to me for advice. They like, yo, you level headed. I'm like,
Why?
I don't know, man. They said,
That's it.
Yeah, they said you're level headed and stuff like that. But I advise men and younger men too. You need to have a list of things that you want out of this woman, and you need to have it ready, right? And it needs to be given to her as quickly as possible, and you need to state your intentions.
So you're
as
guy
quickly
number
as
2.
possible. What do you mean?
You're the guy who, now look, since we've matched on Tinder, I need you to understand. I like bitches that like to.
Nah, but you need to have a list of things that you want from this woman and what the relationship is going to be like. And you need to tell her what it is as quickly as possible. And before you do that, you need to tell her what your intentions are. If you're just trying to have sex, say that. I mean, from the very first
beginning, yes.
first phone conversation, not the initial I'm meeting you, but the very first phone. Now, men think I'm crazy when I say that, right? But if you do that, you're gonna cut yourself off from the opportunity to have sex with that woman. And I say this, good. Because that's not the one for you. Some women will like it. They're like, I'm not down for that. I don't want to give you that. Some women will do it, right? So you qualify them and you eliminate a lot of the women you don't need to waste your time with,
But you
right?
give her an option.
Yes, and every single woman says, thank you. I appreciate you telling me this from the beginning so that I can make an informed decision.
Because I want to decide if I want to sneak in the house while your wife is asleep. Like, I need to know these things ahead of time. Don't just sit there and like, yeah, my wife is here, but she don't mind when bitches come in.
You know why men don't do this? Because they feel compelled to lie. They feel like they have to lie to get something good out of you.
To get
I
the
have
panties.
to first, it could be that, or it could genuinely be I want to build a relationship. But first they have to lie and send their representative. Then they feel like they have to keep lying, and the lie is telling you exactly what you want to hear rather than their truth, and letting you adapt to their truth and decide if you want to have your truth coexist with their truth.
Do you feel like a lot of guys lie in college?
all the time.
Because they're scared. They're conditioned to
They also
tell
don't know
lies.
what to do yet.
I
They haven't learned and figured out. I could just be upfront and honest about it.
No, they're just,
They weren't
you
taught
know,
that.
Yes.
there's so many guys in college, and a lot of the relationships that I've seen started like from like the beginning of my freshman year. They started with them having sex. You know, they would just have sex, and then they like started
the
to
hookup
like each
culture,
other.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't really like that idea as much. Like, if I'm not saying that like I don't like hooking up with people. There have been times where like I've just wanted to have sex and that was it. But like if I'm genuinely looking for a relationship, I don't want to go straight into that.
Yeah, that's a good
And
call.
it's really hard to find like that in college. That's why like I haven't really been looking super hard because I've more been focusing on my studies instead.
Yeah, that's a good
Because
call.
like I can't be dealing with these little boys.
Yeah. Look, you smart. Look.
I didn't do none of that shit
'Cause you-
freshman year.
But you can't get dickmatized. You can't get involved into
Dickmatized.
like if it's
Quote,
great, you like
caption,
I love
trademark.
him, and it is like
Look, that's why it goes back to the 5 degrees I told you earlier. Remember
Bitches.
that? I said number
degrees.
1. I was like,
Nasty.
look, that's the last one.
I look out of all the rules you remember. I was like, hey, number 5. That's
Post
it.
nut clarity. Last rule. Got it. Honestly,
do
I
that
think post
every
nut
day.
clarity should be the first
Bust a
rule.
nut, do you still feel the
Do
same?
you still? No, but my skin is very clear. Like- so I look this
man.
age. I do it every day.
Fellas, you get more women telling the truth. It's gonna seem like you're taking a loss, but you're not. You're gonna get more of the right women by telling them the truth from the word go.
Message.
I know why we feel compelled to lie, because we feel like women have told us we better lie and give them what they want, or else you won't get it. That's what society says. But stop it. Tell the truth.
Like I don't think there's
just so mad.
I don't think there's anything wrong if you just want to have sex with someone. Like that's it. You're just looking for hookup. I don't
Just say that.
necessarily
Yeah,
think
just
that's
address it.
wrong, but just tell
Don't lead
that.
people
You need
along.
to tell your girls that, because guys don't do that because they think that would anger you. They think that's gonna piss you off, and now they lose all hope of ever
Yeah,
getting
no,
anything.
it doesn't make me mad. I've been like,
But wait. This goes back to the earlier thing, right? It said creepy, it's a confidence, right? Like, is it like I think to the point that you're making, Wafeeq, is right. Like a guy may be scared because you can be fully open if you know you're already in, right? But if you're like, what if it's the 5'8" guy that you were talking about, right? Like, do you want him to be
roll,
open, or do you
axolotl.
want him to like prove his worth a little bit more before he comes out open with that?
If the print makes sense.
Wow, what's again with these dick prints?
Look, my thing. Look, I'm
Gray
like,
sweatpants season
right.
is upon us.
you don't want.
Don't listen to her. She tells you to give advice to her daughter.
But
Who do you think
listen.
she's been listening to? Until now?
Remember, she wants you to hang out with her daughter. She
My-
wants
but
you to rub off.
I
on her.
just what I want is every female to be confident in their decisions and not necessarily saying, oh, because I hooked up with this person, I have to love this person.
oh no.
Like-
there have been many,
I agree.
like, well, not many, but like I've hooked up with a few people, and like I wasn't in love with them. We had a fun time, but that was that. Like,
And
and
that's it.
I'm not like I remember I'd hooked up with this guy, and like for a day, I think it was just because like the sex was good, but the day
Dickmatized.
the day after I was like, do I like him? Do I kind of like him? But that like went away very quickly. And then a few weeks later, my friend was like, oh, like he slept with this girl. Aren't you upset? I was like, no, I'm really not.
No.
Like, because yeah, for maybe a day I thought I liked him, but I just like realized that like we had a good time.
Yeah, you
That's
lost
it.
the spell. You
Yeah,
know,
that
you got
was
undigmatized.
Undickmatized. Look, the dick wall.
Step number 5. Post nut clarity.
Can I answer your question, Arturo?
Wafeeq's
Yeah.
rules.
So Arturo just asked, at what point is it creepy for the man to tell a woman exactly what he's looking for and to be honest and be truthful so she can make a decision about does she want her truth to coexist with his, or is it confidence, right? Here's the thing. For me, it gets to the point, and I used to coach all of my salespeople with this when I was a sales trainer. I tell them the first weekend, right?
Post nut clarity.
I would say, look, I need you, man. It's the first week. It's the first week. I need you to go out this weekend. I need you to talk to a bunch of women, and I need you to try to get all of their phone numbers. and you're going to get rejected a bunch. And then I would say to the women, now phone numbers are not good for you because a man will give you that. That's too easy. I need you to go to Glenwood South and run into every guy you meet and try to get him to buy you something. And you're going to find out you're going to get rejected a lot, right? And the rejection is the coaching. When you get rejected a bunch, you no longer give a fuck. That's why we're good at what we do on stage doing comedy, because we're not afraid for somebody not to laugh. We're cool with silence on stage. So I've been rejected a lot in all walks of life. Around, I would say, 19, something snapped in me, and I just stopped giving a fuck. And I'd be like, a woman says, "Do you miss me?" "No, I don't." Well, oh my God, I can't believe you said that. And I'd be like, I can't believe you're being so selfish, because you asked me a yes or no question. And you're angry that I gave you one of the options you gave me. If you only wanted me to say yes, you should have been honest. I'm mad that you are so selfish. The only reason you even asked me a yes or no question is so you can give yourself the illusion and the illusion to other people that you're a fair and balanced person. That's selfish. And then she'd be like, but then it's like, you know what? It's kind of sexy that you have that confidence.
I was going to say, did she get aroused by that?
Most definitely she did, right? But you know what got me there? I stopped giving a fuck. So here's how it goes from being creepy to confidence. Stop giving a fuck. Say what the fuck is on your mind, right? And then boom, she either accepts it or she doesn't. I had a woman come up to me in my last job. She was telling me about another supervisor who was coming on to her, saying some stuff, right? And he's an older gentleman, around a little bit older than me, but not too much older. And she was like, "Oh my God, it's so creepy." And then I thought to myself, well, what you just told me he said to you is something men say to women that they're interested in all the time. So I said, hey, what would be the difference in me saying that to you and him saying that? And she said, well, with you, it's okay because, you know, you just got a different aura about you. But the only aura was my confidence born out of being rejected to the point I snapped and stopped giving a fuck about fear. When you lose that fear, then and only then will you be free to be great.
Okay.
Message.
I think I actually have a clip of Wafeeq in that when you were giving that.
Yeah,
please.
Wafeeq does stand up as a dead crowd. Y'all bitches.
Yeah, I think this is the overall message.
Top 3 OF accounts. Let's go. 1. Stop simping over random girls on the internet. Get out there, talk to a woman, enjoy yourself. Every day you don't take action, someone else is taking your money, someone else is taking your dream life, someone else is taking your girl away from you. Work hard on yourself, only compete with yourself and live life however you want. Dream it, believe it, achieve it, get a life, get money, get tens, take a walk in the park, stand in the rain, remind yourself every day that you're here, you're alive, and that you're blessed to do that. Get out there, have a good old laugh, get on the Guinness with your pals, get wavy, and do yourself proud. Have a good one, roll on the weekend. So.
No, and like I agree with what he said, with what Wafeeq said, because I also grew up on the notion of don't chase.
Mm-hmm.
If you live your life confidently and you do what you're doing in life, it will just come. But if you start chasing, I don't like. Step number 5: post nut clarity. But yeah, like if you just live your life confidently, it's just gonna come to you. Like, but if you chase, you're gonna end up being one of those people on TikTok screaming at a camera because you keep getting rejected.
Yeah,
I love it.
I mean, again,
You're like, chase me, please. You know?
There's nothing wrong with a little. You gotta at least show interest. You
have to show interest.
You have to. You can't be blatantly like closed off.
But again, like he said, as far as like earlier, like, oh well, you gotta make her get out the friend zone. If I don't know you're there, and
yeah,
you don't,
exactly. You gotta at least address it.
We have to address it. We can't just be on some like.
But the thing is, like, your confidence should also just say it. In my opinion, you know what I'm saying? Granted, the dude went the movie thing. I think that's a terrible idea because I'm with you on that. Like, I go to the movies with my mother.
Yeah, a movie's not a date. A movie's a terrible date unless you've been dating for a while.
But like, if someone took me out and I'm like, wow, this is a really nice date. Like, you don't do this with regular motherfuckers, bro. I mean, and you showing the confidence that like, oh, Like I could look at your energy, your aura, or whatever, and I could be like, oh, this dude's doing it with a purpose.
Oh, you know this guy fucks. He mentioned aura. You know, he knows
Yeah.
that works. You know, like-
No Ohio
bitches.
energy in here.
Yeah.
No Ohio.
But also, I feel like sometimes you can't take me out somewhere nice and then expect me to be like, yeah, you know, you getting, you know, we fucking tonight, like
facts.
Because it could be on some you. But it could be some nice shit. Like you have to tell. I'm probably the oblivious, like dumb one because I feel like you just have to be upfront with me. If you're just like, oh, I'm gonna take you out. Okay, cool, bitch. You know I like to eat. Let's go. Like
exactly.
He's like, I'll take you to a movie. You know.
Like okay, like I wanted to see Bad Boys a long time ago, or you know Deadpool or Wolverine. Let's go. Like
you just gotta let it be known.
Yeah.
You know, buy me the $80 popcorn bucket. I'd be like, damn. It's crazy.
No, you like me. That's great.
You know I'm never going to use this bucket ever.
You got me the one I could refill.
Okay.
This is a bitch to
I'm
clean.
keeping it right now. Look, I'm bringing this bitch back.
That's crazy.
Nice.
You actually bought me candy. We didn't go to Walmart before and just stole that shit.
Okay.
crazy.
Dollar Tree.
My only problem with this guy is I need the plan.
Yeah.
I need there to be a plan behind everything that he's saying. Otherwise,
Because he don't got the plan.
if you
yet.
don't have a plan and you just keep telling people you need to do this, then
He
it
trying
looks
to figure
like
it out.
basically this. Why aren't you as successful as me? Why don't you have champagne bottles and bitches and cars like me? Give these people a plan. That's what separates the people that's what separates accusers from actual coaches. Accusers are like, there was an Asian guy back in the early 90s who used to come on infomercials and say that, why you no rich like me? He was like, why you lazy American? Why you no have mansion like me?
Why you
I feel like I'm back in the Amway speeches with the pyramid
Right.
scheme.
So you got to give people a plan. I hope he can do that.
I
Otherwise,
mean,
you're just accusing them of being lazy.
He just seems like he could run for president to me. Like
No, maybe along this lines. I want to like. We're probably down to our last 20, 25 minutes. So thank you all for hanging by, and sorry about the bladder so far. But what is and we'll start with you, Analise, and then we'll go around, right? Like, and then I have a follow-up question for this. What's the best place to meet somebody in the wild?
Ooh, that's my favorite way to like meet someone, and it just makes me more comfortable, is through like friends. Like if someone that like I know that I'm close with knows this person, it makes me feel more comfortable. That's my favorite way to like meet someone.
Yeah,
I would say. I don't know, like parties. I don't really like meeting people at parties because usually their intentions are not what I'm looking for.
Right.
I don't like
Bitches.
I get very
instantly.
like someone just coming up to me in public. I don't know. Sometimes I can get the wrong impression from that. So I prefer
You're like,
to.
ew. Yeah.
It just
I'm
depends
working
on
right
this
now.
situation. Yeah, getting hit on at work, no.
Facts.
Okay, so through friends, okay, that makes sense. And if you had to pick a place, you know, where you are gonna meet a random person, you know, what's the least, you know, the most, I guess, normal place where you can be more receptive? It said it's not at work, it's not at the gym, I'm sure. I don't know. Walking around college? I don't know.
Yeah, that would probably be like when I'm walking around college, like, you know, a lot of the people there, like, not that we all have the same interests, but, you know, we all have like something similar going on. We're all in college. So meeting people there would probably be like my choice, like me walking to class or me eating somewhere. Like if someone came up to me, I probably wouldn't find it as weird because we're all at college. You know, that's how you meet people. That's how I met people. Like my first semester, I just went up and talked to random people, like friends. Like if I thought someone was cute, like, you know.
And my follow-up is, you know, how should they approach you? Like, what do they need to say? If you were the guy that's approaching you, give us a role play. What are you saying?
That's tough because, like, I don't know. Like, I can't.
Hey, bitch.
Yeah.
Sup, I see you walking to class. What class you taking?
You looking real bitchy in them jeans.
You want to see my axolotl?
Or what has worked, I guess. Maybe if you can remember that.
They're not too much. Like, there's not been a ton of people who have come up to me, like, while I'm
Stop the cap.
walking to class. I would say the most that people have come up to me is at parties. Because, like, I spent my first semester partying a little too much, I would say. But, you know, that's where, like, the most people, I think, came up to me.
Yeah.
Not too many people really came up to me like.
But they came up nicely, or what do they come up like at parties? Like, what's a party opening line nowadays?
There's not really an opening line. It's like usually for me, it's like you make eye contact and then you just start dancing with each other. That's literally how it goes.
Yeah.
That's how it was.
Across the room.
Yeah, no,
like
that's
that movie.
That's how it was. Like
John Travolta.
Hey, I'll get that in a little bit.
for me on like New Year's Eve, like I went clubbing in Charlotte, and that's literally how I got like my New Year's kiss. I just saw someone that I thought was cute. I made eye contact with them, and then they just came up to me because like
That's such a movie.
That's crazy. You don't know if this man flosses.
You don't even know.
Well, like
man,
when I'm partying, I'm a
see
different.
the bum bump on his lip.
Yeah, it's too dark in the club. Like
when I am partying, I'm a different person. Okay, like when I am in
drinking.
that yeah, like when I am
crazy.
drinking, when I am like I am a different person. I'm only after one thing.
dick.
Wow.
Dick. She the one who look,
She's skipping.
She's
Step
my
number
kind of
5.
girl. You go up to him and be like, too small. All right.
Yeah. Like this is if you're looking at the camera, she wants this look. You get over here.
It's almost like that, but with my eyes. Like I just like look at them, like, and they can tell. I've done it before. I've just like looked at someone and they knew and they came up to me.
Do you make like a sign to them or
No,
anything?
What's the
You
stand?
down here.
You see
And
this?
the guy, you look over, the guy's just like.
No, I just look at them and I start like dancing like a little bit closer.
That's crazy.
All of a sudden,
You
just
gotta push
like,
one dude out of the way.
I think Victoria, what's yours? I think it might be the same answer.
hey, it's definitely very close. It's hard because at my age it's a little different. So, and then also being a comedian, I feel like I don't want every guy that's interested in like I don't want a male trucker fucker. Like those are possible.
Yeah. You wanted to say.
Shut up, bitch!
Exactly.
Just a little bit. Let me know. Pull me by my like no.
Bitches.
Yeah.
I like a little aggressiveness. I want to feel like you can protect me. And yeah. But it's hard to say because
Stop the cap.
Because if you're out and you see somebody, it's like the attract. Like of course, my list of what I see. Okay, cool. Then if I give you the extra wink, like now it's like, hey, you see his pussy.
Yeah, because your list is height, eyes, lips, teeth, and hands.
If you got
so you only need to see them from the midriff up, really.
Well, the print says a lot.
Okay, so from the knees up.
Yeah, I gotta see. Look, if you make sense, hey, let's go for it. But I don't like to waste my time. I don't like to waste anybody else's time. So it's like, if you fucking but it's hard to really say. Like, I don't want to see it. Like, there's no single men going to like where I go. I go to fucking Disney World. I go to the mall with my kids. So it's like, fuck, like there's no single dads group at the Disney cruise. Like that needs to be a thing, though.
Have you considered one of these dating apps?
No, I hate those. I've hated those since Tinder was around because one of those lonely nights.
Have you ever considered wearing a shirt that says, I have a kid, so you know the deal?
No, because that could mean some weird shit too. Like,
you heard earlier, people like little kids out here.
God damn, I gotta edit this fucking podcast.
That's crazy.
He getting aroused by the pull-up section.
Note I gotta write everything Wafeeq says.
Everything. Bleep
Except
He sees all the baby toys and he's like, how can I use these?
Like, how?
That's crazy.
Like,
is that a brattle?
Can you choke me with that bit?
The pacifier. Drop it on the floor. I like it.
Pinch my nipples with that.
Giuseppe, in your experience, what's the best place to approach? Or if you like to get approached yourself, like.
I tend to get more approached because I don't
Stop the cap.
I don't like to fuck around. I enjoy my peace too much.
Do you look at them too across the room like Analise?
No,
does,
I don't have a good eye contact. I look like a deer. I'm like, oh shit, But I think like the most times that like I'll actually approach someone is if I'm stopped at something. Like if I'm waiting in line and there's a beautiful woman, I'll talk.
What if you're at
about
a light? Would you like say?
Oh,
What's
I've
up
done
to a
that
girl?
before.
Okay.
I've been in standstill traffic, and I'll roll down the window and just
thirsty
fucking talk.
But like, yo, I like that song you play. What is it?
Hey, bitch, roll down your window.
She said thirsty. Thirsty.
But yeah, like a lot of times, like I've done things like I've walked my dog and people will come up to me. I don't like to be talked when I'm doing shit because you're like, oh my god, your dog is so cute. I'm like, that's great. It's shitting right now. I really don't want to do this.
The
Right
dog
now.
is like, you see this shit?
But yeah, I would say like anytime where I'm stopped to do something, like I have to, like then I'll take the opportunity. 'Cause
Like
I'm
in
always-
line at like if you're getting food somewhere.
Yeah. Especially like in the
pretty good.
army, man, you gotta take that time because those lines are forever in the
See,
army.
military guys, y'all are always
That's
quick.
different. Like like I'll be like, "Hi, what's your name?" Wow, I love you.
We're married. From
Have
my
you heard
experience.
of BAH?
Yeah.
Possibly. I live in mold right now.
Wafeeq, how about you? What's the best place to approach a lady, or if you like to get approached, you
Yeah.
know, or bitch, you know, whatever you want to call it.
Bitches.
Yeah, I do like to get approached. That's cool. It's always a good confidence builder. It's always feeling good. I think the best place to approach is a place with like-minded people. So if you want to be a
Comedy show?
No, what I mean is if you want to be an actor, right, you need to surround yourselves with people who are actors so they can teach you the game and teach you what you're supposed to do. You want to be a successful entrepreneur, you need to be with entrepreneurial people. You don't need to be with people who have settled for working a 9-to-5 for somebody else, right? They're not going to steer you in the right direction. So if you want to be with somebody in a serious relationship, you want to get married, you need to be around people who are married and in serious relationships. So that way they can guide you to somebody else who's looking for the same thing. Damn. I don't understand. We accept this logic when it comes to everything else. You want to be a basketball player? Go hang out with the basketball players. They'll teach you how to play basketball. You want to get married? Get with people who are serious about getting married. Why you don't be hanging around?
Maybe some people have been married before, is what you mean.
You don't. It could be, or it could just be people who are serious about cultivating a marriage.
That
right?
sounds like a swingers club to me. But
If you want high quality women, don't hang out with bitches.
Yeah.
But women are bitches.
I'm so committed to my marriage that I hang out with other married
Other
people
married people.
having sex.
And
like,
some
no,
places.
that bitch look real bitchy today. Come on, let's trade bitches.
Yeah, just get with people who are serious
swap.
about that, right?
Man, you really like that show growing up.
I would say
Probably his logic came from that. Bitches.
2004 reality.
Yeah.
Move that bus.
the Dave
Bitches.
Chappelle episode. But get with somebody who get around like-minded people, man. So if you want to get married or whatever, maybe you should get around people who are serious about that. It could be at your religious institution. Some people say church. That's the old-fashioned place. It could be.
I tried. I can't wake up early enough on Sunday. Yeah.
Right.
You're not hungry enough. You're not
You're
hungry
right.
for
You're
it.
It
right.
could be.
Who's gonna carry the boat?
It's only
could
been a
be-
month and a half, so you're right. Month
You're
3,
right.
I'm getting up at 5 a.m. you
Right.
know?
Or you could be
Join
at
the
your
army. You'll
masjid,
wake up real early.
Go to your mosque. It could
Been
be,
there. Didn't like it.
I agree.
Talk to. This sounds crazy, but talk to some people who know people who are serious about getting married or serious about a relationship. Now the craziest one is it could actually be your mother. Maybe she might know somebody, which sounds crazy. Maybe your sister, but just get around some people who are serious.
No.
My mother don't know what I want.
Mine doesn't really either. But the point I'm making
Everybody pisses my mama off. No.
is get around people who are serious
I met her at
about
the bingo
what you
hall. Like,
want.
Mom, I don't want that.
Wow. No, that's great. Panel, you all have been super fun. Over 2.5 hours have gone by like this, I think.
Yes.
This is super fun. I want you all to come back, for another episode. We're going to wrap up here. I will have you do last thoughts, then I'll do a little video, and then we'll wrap up. How about that?
Cool.
I'm with it.
Okay, last thoughts. We'll start with you, Analise. First time doing a podcast ever, right? So tell me how you felt, what it was like. Any last thoughts or anything that we may have touched about that you want to talk about on the panel?
I thought I would be more nervous than I was. I came in, I was really nervous at first, and It actually came pretty naturally, so I thought that was fun.
Yeah, you're a natural. You're great. I would have never guessed you never did a podcast before.
I don't know. I just feel like I really like talking like a lot, and so a podcast is all about talking. So I guess that's kind of like why I wanted to try it out and just do it. And I've thought about like starting like YouTube channel or like doing social media in some way, but I never really had the courage to until like now.
Why not?
Hell yeah. No. We'll make some
it.
clips. We'll share them. You can put them up. And we'd love to have you back. You were great on this show and really appreciate a different perspective.
So
thank
what
you for
have we
making that drive.
learned?
Bitches.
Bitches are bitches, or women are bitches, men are dogs.
Post nut clarity.
Post nut clarity, the 5
Underlining
principles.
messages.
Yes. Was it 5 or was it 3?
It was
I
5.
can't
It
remember.
was 5. It was like, do you miss them? Do you
Want to better them?
I feel like you
do you
miscounted
want to
though.
better them?
And do they want to better you?
Do
Are
they?
you
Better
Okay.
you.
making each other better?
And how
And
do you
then-
feel after you masturbate?
Yes.
Yes. Now with the women or bitches, remember that's not for you. That's an extreme dude getting abused. Yours is just all men are dogs and they're lying to you.
Yeah, men aren't bitches. They're just dogs. Even though
Nice.
bitches are female. Wait, yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Hey, Giuseppe just let us know.
Crazy.
He just
Giuseppe
realized
let
what
us
the
know.
word bitch means.
It's my intellect level.
And now we know why you're single.
Victoria, last thoughts. Have you learned?
Last thoughts, bitches. I feel like I can finally say on one point I have agreed with Wafeeq since I've known him, and y'all can record that. Y'all can play that shit over and over again. It might be the last.
That might be a sound clip.
Yeah,
we'll
it
put
might
on
be
the board.
the last fucking time it happens. But I've learned a lot about myself in this, and I always love being on here because I learn even more about myself. Like, bitch, I'm a whore. But no, I learn more of being comfortable with who I am and how I feel. Like I don't feel like like just making sure like if you want to be that woman who says, look, I either want to be like this or like this, like I open up a little bit more, and I love being around that. And like you said, talking. And y'all get to know more and more about me, and might run y'all away, might want y'all to want more, but I do appreciate it.
No, you're great, and I'd love to have you back. And somebody mentioned this to me the other day, right? Like, and probably a byproduct that people end up having like raw, real conversations on this podcast. Sometimes, just through the dialogue, and I think that's something that we're missing.
Yeah.
And I think those things can bring us together because nobody has it figured out, especially around dating. So
Exactly.
I mean, except unless you're Wafeeq, he's got the 5 steps. But
Bitches.
I think we agree on more than one thing too, because you agree with me in that men need to be
you
honest.
pushing it. You pushing it right
Okay,
now. You really trying. You trying.
Play that back.
Giuseppe, last thoughts?
Bitches. Bitches, axolotls, and aggressive advice. But no, I had a lot of fun on here. Enjoyed it. Definitely had a moment where I'm like, dang, maybe I should stop listening to my dad.
Well, we love having you. We'd love to have you back, man.
Yeah.
Very funny.
Thank you.
And Wafeeq, you've seen some new faces. You've gotten to know the legend, the man, the legend.
The regular.
Last thoughts.
I think everybody on this panel has done an amazing job and has represented themselves quite well. As long as we represent ourselves well, that's great, man. And also, too, I'm sitting here thinking, once again, my mother is right? The older I get, the more I realize my mother was right about a lot of stuff. So I know I said some aggressive stuff like we need to take what the bald guy who kind of looks like Dennis V was saying so that we can err on the side of caution and protect ourselves. I came off hard, right? Hey, look, Analise, all these dudes in your life are lying and they're dogs, right? And then Victoria was saying, well, let's not treat everybody, paint everybody with that broad brush, put that stroke on everybody, because if we judge everybody moving forward based on our past relationships, it wouldn't be fair. This is why the best relationship, in my opinion, is with a man and a woman, because we balance each other out like that. What? So her softness is balancing out my hardness, and then we meet in the middle.
I feel like you the Grinch and your heart just grew 2 times just this second. This is crazy.
And my mother would tell
melted.
me this. She would say, and my father too, he was like, that's why you're going to need a woman, because she's going to balance out that your hardness when y'all raise some kids. And I see that now.
One day, maybe women will not be bitches to Wafeeq.
They're not.
They're not. Even though I tell everybody that bitches.
Giuseppe, what you say? The Grinch's heart grew 3 times bigger. Start removing the bitches off of that
All
heart.
these Horvilles are really nice. They're
The Horvilles.
with all their clangs and tic tacs and tinders.
Well,
and nipple clips.
Panel,
And nipple
super
clips,
fun.
the tassels.
This will be out within the next couple weeks. Thank you all again for your time. This has been Manly Girly. Bye.
Peace out.
Sup.
Back to when we were kids, we didn't know how good